car like that, it's like you're pushing the air.
Turn 2.
Trouble.
Turn 2, there's trouble. One truck in the wall. Hard. Spins around. Hits it again. Ricky Johnson, the motocross star. And everyone's just able to avoid him.
Wow.
That is one flattened beer can for Ricky Johnson.
Mike, both ends are torn up pretty bad there.
And the second caution of the day. Walls on the racetrack. Crews, the driver's all right. He's brushed the wall with the right rear.
Mike, you can see the sand on the back of the truck there. He's in that sand, and all of a sudden he overcorrects right back to the right, in head first. Now the back of the truck's going down, doing a lot of damage to that truck.
The groove is swept clean of that sand every time the trucks come around. But that sand has...
there's nothing he'd rather do than lead, and right now he's doing it very well. You can see him cut down just a little bit, trying to take some of the draft off of Jack Sprague.
Trouble. Turn 4. One truck goes around after contact. That's the 17 of Schrader. He's going to miss the wall. And we stay green. There is no caution. Kenny Schrader I believe got a bump from behind and started to go around. Nice save, Schrader.
The 17 truck there on the outside gets just a touch right there. The 32 truck gets into the left rear corner. Schrader starts down. Look at Bickle go to the high side. Wow, that was close.
Kenny Hendrick got into the left rear quarter of Schrader, spinning around after heavy contact. Number 9, Andy Michener. That's the Wilbur Bunce Chevrolet. And we'll see if Michener... 114 laps complete here at Las Vegas. The caution is just waved for Scott Lagasse, who spun and head-butted the wall in turn 4.
Yeah, you can see the red mark there on the wall. That's been a pretty favorite place all week long for guys when they get in trouble, make it quite a bit looser.
Robbie Gordon in that 18. He is young, he is brash, he is cocky, and he is fast. Reminds me of
Bliss in trouble.
Mike Bliss is going to, well, I thought he'd hang on to it, but then he got up in the loose stuff.
Oh, my goodness, he come across there in a bad spot. Everybody was able to make it by him. You could see Mike Bliss going in the corner having all kind of trouble, Mike.
Caution flag is out for Bliss. Lap 1.
Gets just a little bit out of the groove. He tries to correct. Now the back goes again. He turns into the slide, just keeps going back and forth. All of a sudden, right here, around the truck comes.
Now let's show you what Mike Bliss saw as he went into turn 3.
You can see him trying to get control of the truck again. Right now, he's in real trouble. Look at the traffic coming at him here. So you want to be a driver, do you?
Mike Bliss will likely come to pit row at $80,000 for winning this race. Record payoff for this series. Right now, Hornaday in a position to finish 49 points ahead of Jack Sprague.
Look who's come into the picture here, though. Oh, we have trouble. That's
Jay Sauter. Keeps it away from the inside concrete and those light stanchions. No caution.
Mike, the truck's fine. He cannot get it reset. Now by Bill Elliott on the outside going into turn 1.
White flag in the air. Perhaps Ruttman knew he couldn't catch Sprague. Give Elliott a shot. Turn 2. Elliott closing. Ruttman is going to line right up on his trailer hitch and draft him down the back straightaway. Turn 3. Bill Elliott in his first Craftsman Truck Series start has a chance to win it all. Elliott within 2 trunk legs. Off turn 4. Elliott sweeps up high. He's not going to make it. Jack Sprague gets his 5th victory of the season.
Whoa, trouble.
Walter and Elliott got together at the finish line, and Hornaday comes across close enough to secure the series championship.
Ago, he had a lot of oil that we could clearly see coming from behind that truck as he went off into the corner.
Eli, you can see the smoke there, but going into turn 1, the motor let go, and you could just see a lot of debris come out from under the truck, and oil was going everywhere. So this will take a little bit to clean up because it does have a wide oil patch going into turn 1.
Let's see what we saw.
Well, you can see right there it's turned loose, and he started down into 1. Now you can see the parts actually flying out from under that truck as he goes in the corner, gets sideways. Lucky catch there because there's a lot of oil going on the right rear tire. What a great drive he just put on too.
And there is Brian Reffner heading back to the pits. CBS Sports coverage of the CarQuest Auto Parts 420.
Now, looks like Sprague can close the ground on him when he gets ready to.
Trouble in the corner. Lonnie Rush spins. The 97 also going around. That's Wayne Anderson.
Whoa. Little contact there. It looked like Randy Tolsma got into him just a little bit.
And through the grass go others. Ron Barfield. Barry Bodine has been collected in that as well. A lot of damage on his truck. Chuck Bound was involved, but there is Lonnie Rush Jr., the lap number 75. Oh, he got, well, one of the two got together.
Contact there, and everybody behind him is just, that's just, you can see that's like a wreck on the freeway. Everybody's trying to get by, but there was a lot of damage even past where we're at.
Now, Rich Bickle's truck, look at this. What do you do when you're in a situation? Just point her straight and pray like the Dickens?
Well, you try to go to the high side of the racetrack because it is self-cleaning. Let's ride with Keselowski and see what he could see coming off the corner. You can see the trouble up in front. Smoke's everywhere. He's trying to decide where to go right now. He chooses to go low, gets in the backside there of... one thing he couldn't do, though, was just whoa up in time. And the caution is on the speedway. Let's go to pit road. Doug George's truck. Doug George, who erupts in a plume of smoke as he passes start-finish. There you see the problems on Doug George's truck. And we saw in Topeka, Kansas, where on the very last lap, Jay Sauter, the race leader, ran out of fuel, giving Ruttman the win. Same scenario here in Las Vegas. One man rolls lucky 7. One man has rolled snake eyes. Joe Ruttman wins the season finale in Las Vegas, and Jack Sprague wins the championship for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. How about that finish? Eli, we were just talking about it. Tires were not a problem, but the fuel certainly was. What a heartbreaker for Rick Corelli. I'm telling you.
Got a crash in turn 4 as the lead group goes on by. That's Mike Stefanik as he has made contact with the wall.
Yeah, and that could be as a result of the wind. We don't know for sure.
The yellow is out. Stefanik is still under power.
I couldn't see. Did you hit anything?
That's the crew. Look.
Oh, look how thick it is down there, as Boris said, right behind. There's the car spinning. We didn't see what caused it. I saw something, though, while we were riding on board with Mike Stefanik, and that was the camera shaking all around. Now he has 4 flat-spotted tires, and you can sit right there bouncing around a little bit.
We're going to the longest line. If you can get in.
Well, we're going to take a break here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Don't go away. There's still a lot to be decided. The Sam's Town 250.
Room at all to the championship battle. I guarantee you that.
Tony Raines is lap traffic. The 19 is not from. Oh, we have contact in the corner wall. The yellow is out.
Wow, right there, all came apart for a second there. Yellow's on the racetrack. We did have contact. I don't know what this has done.
The crash happened up in turn 2. It's Brendan gone. Sprague holds on to the spot. He's got a big donut. 1 lap to go.
And up in the gray, he's up there throwing a lot of marbles. Right now, Hornaday down. Hornaday can win this race.
Hornaday into second. That would clinch the championship for Ron. Sprague.
And they're going to make him run with a big speed if he comes up the racetrack.
A huge crash. Big crash in turn number 2, but they will race to the checkered flag because it is behind them. So it is now up to Jack Sprague. He has to hope that Ron Hornaday spins it out. All Hornaday has to do is stay right where he is. It's going to be Sprague's victory.
It's over. This thing's over. This is exactly what they had to do. Ron Hornaday wins the championship. Sprague wins the race.
Sprague wins the race, but Ron Hornaday wins the championship. Listen to that crew.
Boy, it looks like the X-Side 4 doing well, and also Jack Sprague has moved into 3rd position. He's got a lot of pressure on Stacy Compton.
And they've got a spinner. John Young, the 72 car, is spun and is sitting up in turn 4. Is the caution flag going to come out? Yes, it is.
So quickly, we have had our 2nd caution of the night. Now,
never see the 41 car of Randy Renfro, and there we see John Young in the 72 going up and making contact with the wall.
Upper left. Keep your eye. There he goes. Yeah, he got up in the gray.
He just got a little bit too high. And here's, oh, no, going to. That CMP on the quarter panel is John Young's.
Oh, Andy Houston gets turned around sideways. Can he save it?
Oh, my goodness. No, just touches Joe Rutten.
No yellow yet.
The contact with, oh, and what a great escape there by one truck. Could not get a number on it. Houston had almost made the save.
That was, I thought he was going to save the vehicle. Unbelievable, and just the last second contact with Joe Ruttman caused the truck to spin.
There is no caution on the racetrack because Andy has got damage to the left front, but it looks like he's going to be able to get to the pit lane. His back. Take another look, BP.
Look at Greg Biffle on the inside. As the 60 truck spins, and Biffle and Hornaday are so close to that crash, and never see Joe Rutten come along, and just that little bit of contact causes the 60 truck to spin of Andy Houston.
And all of these trucks, boy, look at the evasive action taken by everybody to avoid colliding with Andy Houston. Now Bliss has got pressure on Jack Sprague.
Start and move into the fourth position, and right now we've got a truck crashing. It's Bliss.
Bliss hard into the wall in turn 2. I don't know if he got any help going around or if he just got turned around.
I see Mike Bliss moving in the truck, which is a good thing. But the truck's going on the outside. And right there we see the right rear tire. I thought I saw it start to come apart. But we see the tire it starts smoking. It's flat. And around he goes. And bam! On the outside retaining wall.
And that's why you're the professor. There's brand new tires from a report from Dave Burns on the right side. So a tough.
And 4. Wave him off. Wave him off. Wave him off. He's inside.
Got a yellow. And boy, oh, Scott Hansen has hit the wall hard. Turn number 4. The Oakwood Home Chevrolet.
We heard Max Jones telling his driver, Greg Biffle, to wave off Jack Sprague because the caution flag was out. But barely. I mean, he had his bell run back with the wall.
Upper right-hand corner of your screen. Boom, right there.
Man, oh, man. Have no idea what might have caused that collision with the wall, but you see this truck, it doesn't stop because Hansen puts on the brakes or anything else. It stops because it gets tired of rolling.
The friction with the wall is what brings him to a stop all the way into turn 4.
Because right now, Scott Hansen is like that steering wheel. He is just a passenger in that truck.
On Sprague won the race. Hornaday won the championship. This time, Biffle's on his way to a championship. One more lap to go, 1.5 miles for victory number 9 in the record book.
If Biffle gets that same exit off turn 2, he should be able to hold him back.
Looking good. You're clear.
Absolutely. He is looking good. You roll the dice when you come to Las Vegas. Sometimes you come up snake eyes. Sometimes you hit 7 right on that first roll, and you take all the bank, all the money home. And here comes the record book for Greg Biffle. He wins round 22 and his 9th win, and Ford is your manufacturer's champion.
Good job. Inside, inside.
The congratulations of this team, they have earned it. And Ford breaks
away. We had a power hit just as we came on the air here, and our technical crew worked very, very hard.
What trouble?
Going up across the racetrack, the 50 of John Wood sliding up across the racetrack, and that will bring out the first caution flag of the day here on lap 14.
We saw it right in front of the guys we were watching, Joe Ruttman and Dennis Setzer. It happened anywhere near the center of the corner. You're going to make some pretty hard contact with the outside wall, just like John did.
If you can see what happened there, you see his truck already spinning. Travis Quapple just does miss him, and the truck loops around again with the back. He almost had it saved, and when it caught,
went the other direction. Sure did. It looked like maybe Travis took a little air off his spoiler. I don't think there was any contact, but he was right in between 2 trucks. I think he was between David Starr and Travis Quapple, and probably took a little air off the spoiler. We hear that all the time, but that in fact happens, and around he went some pretty hard contact.
You see once again, first caution flag of the day. John Wood, the 19-year-old, comes around with the Eldon Ford up into the concrete. And folks, these laps here, they're averaging over 160 miles an hour, so there's a lot of speed involved. Pretty hard contact.
You see John on the inside of David Starr right there. He's trying to make the move, but he starts losing the front end and pushes up. And he doesn't want to hit David Starr, so he turns the wheel left away from him, but loses the back end. Almost had it saved, as we saw earlier, from a different angle, but unfortunately, thing caught.
And almost spinning out back at Las Vegas. Ruttman just does hang on. Can he keep it out of the wall? And the man second in points will keep it out of the wall as the caution comes out. And that spin right there, he got very high. Look at the smoke peeling off that left front tire. There was some contact there, and he's pushed that fender back in against the tire. And Joe, let's show you again what happened. We were just coming out of commercial. Watch this move. Watch Ruttman.
In the middle of the Kyle Busch, he got a little bit loose, just as we saw on an earlier situation. Got a little bit loose in between those two trucks. Was did a heck of a job keeping it. You see he's nailed the throttle. That's why the wheels are still spinning. Got it down out of the outside wall, away from the outside wall, but coming in the inside wall, just going to make a little bit of contact right there on the inside wall.
Now from the Dana Dodge onboard camera, there is Milwaukee's, there's the Rick Crawford truck on the inside.
They're going by the start-finish line right there. Now they're going down into turn number 1. Remember, Kyle Busch is on the outside of Joe Ruttman. Hear him, Doc, jumping that throttle to keep that truck from backing up into the outside wall.
Lots of smoke still inside his cockpit as he bounces off that inside wall. He's in the pits right in front of you, Amy.
He sure is, and that left front is so far down. There's
hugging that white line. Hendrick trying to hang on. White flag waving for Musgrave, but you're watching a great battle side by side. GMAC Chevy on the inside. Milwaukee Electric Tools Ford on the high side. Here comes Crawford roaring back on the final lap at Las Vegas.
They were dead even that time at the start-finish line.
Clear low, clear low. All right, let's go now. Keep digging, just be smooth.
Crawford takes a spot away. It is Musgrave, then Sprague, then Quapple, then Riggs, then Crawford, then Hendrick. Here in the final lap comes Ted Musgrave, and the 45-year-old driver from Franklin, Wisconsin, wins the Orleans 3.
He's got to be very careful. You see the left front tire down. You see the fender flapping a little bit. If that tire blows out, it will rip that fender off. There's the very end of what happened there. See the roof flap come up on the truck. That keeps the trucks on the ground.
A very weird place to get spun around going into turn 1.
I don't think we're seeing the contact that led up to that truck spinning right there, because spinning at that point of the racetrack is almost sure contact with the outside wall.
We're 20 laps into this race.
A look coming off at turn 4.
You see him get sideways coming off turn 4. It looked very much like his first spin. Went through the grass. The first one didn't. He made no contact this time either, I don't think. So he's got no contact, but he's having a lot of trouble negotiating turn 4.
He was kind of in the middle of the pack there, and all that smoke, and Mike Skinner. And problems with Carl Edwards as he goes screaming across the front stretch grass, makes his way back out onto the track, but the caution comes out.
It reminded me of Daytona. I think he went through the infield grass at Daytona as well.
He went down pit road at about and we can go for a ride with Carl Edwards and see just what it's like going through the infield grass at about 160 miles an hour.
We saw the Ford truck on the inside of him. Bobby Hamilton. Carl got loose out on the outside and had to chase the truck down the hill to catch it. Did a nice job driving straight through the grass. So many times when you get in the
lap scuffs that they used in practice earlier today. Why would they do that? They've still got a set of stickers here in the pits.
We got a car spun at the base of turn number 4 right there.
Ken
the 08
Weaver.
car. Ken Weaver. The caution is out.
Now what do these teams do?
Top off with fuel.
Will this get them into their fuel window, and will they change those tires with this many laps to go in the race?
I don't know. There's Steele
takes over the top spot.
A little bump and run. We've seen it happen many times before. What a great job by Shane Meal.
That's textbook right there. That's how you do it. Just a little contact, make them get loose, turns underneath them, and makes the pass.
The final lap. Shane Meal looking for his first ever win in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Todd Bodine falling back away from him, and it looks as though the Whitaker Farms number 15 of Shane Meal may claim its first win in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
He drove up right behind Todd Bodine, got him a little bit loose, bumped him, and here he goes.
Coming out of turn number 4, Shane Meal will win the Las Vegas 350.
All these competitors are an extra set of tires this year, so that
situation should not be an issue.
And they will be wanting to use them. We've got a spin right here on the front stretch.
That's Tracy Hines getting spun around. The traffic behind him looks as though it was going to get through, but then we had another spinner coming through. That's the 12 of Joey Miller, also involved in this. He gets spun around trying to avoid the spinning number 13 of Tracy Hines.
Yeah, he got some contact with another truck too. Joey Miller did. So there's another truck still making its way around the racetrack that will have some damage. Looks like he might have got a tap from the 18 of Chase Montgomery right near the start-finish line.
My truck.
See Joey Miller turned around and he made some contact with a 77 of Brendan Gaughan.
That's so hard to tell when you see the tire come off like that. I don't know if it's because of low air pressure right there when he got spun.
There's another view. That's after the contact, if there was some. Sometimes, though, if the tire came off, Tracy may have backed out of the throttle, and that may have caused the contact, if there was any contact.
Yes.
Tracy's already around. He makes some pretty hard contact with the outside wall. Joey Miller got turned around in the aftermath. Unfortunately, made some contact with the 77 Jasper Engines Dodge of Brendan Gaughan.
He got spun around, and we'll take a look at this.
See, right before this, the 02 of Kelly Sutton made a little bit of contact with Chad. That's what forced him up the racetrack. He was trying to gain control of his truck. Kelly went by on the outside. Here comes Todd Bodine, our leader, on pit road.
So our leader coming down pit road to make a stop. Ted Musgrave also following him down.
Those guys, but he's a great driver, and I'm sure he'll be back up there. It looks like a caution's out right now.
Third caution of the night comes out. That's the Team Copaxson 02 of Kelly Sutton getting spun around.
Yeah, that's going to be a horrible break for Steve Park in the 62 and the 10 of Terry Cook. In the 99 of Ricky Craven, we didn't talk about him. He pitted under green a few.
Body cycle out just like Jack Sprague did before.
You see Kelly Sutton slowing. Looks like she was trying to get off the track. And then she starts spinning across the back stretch.
Dropped down on the apron, then spun around there right in front of traffic. So NASCAR had to put the caution flag out to warn these drivers about that situation. See, she just looks like she just drove off the banking. Maybe she got sideways right before we caught that view of that. And here you see her lock the brakes up to keep her from driving across the racetrack, which would have been right in front of the 6 of Ron Hornaday.
So again, our third. Bill Lester having such a great run tonight brings out our fourth caution of the night as he has a right front go down on him and he gets into the wall.
Yeah, as he went in the corner, the truck just took off into the outside wall. And what a horrible break for Bill Lester. Qualified so well, led this race early on.
It went from bad to worse for him. David Root
trying to get him loose, trying to get right up underneath that truck. He's under him.
Musgrave on the inside. Here he goes for the pass as they go down the backstretch side by side. Musgrave on the inside, Bodine on the outside, and Musgrave takes over the top spot.
Talk about taking a point lead. Well, he just took the point lead right there from Dennis Setzer. If he can hold on.
Ted Musgrave out in front of Todd Bodine, and the caution flag will come out.
You know what that means.
This is green, white, checkered. And that is the 62 of Steve Park that we see stopped. The caution flag comes out before the white flag comes out, meaning green, white, checkered will have one chance at a green, white, checkered finish. And the flames starting to come out from underneath the 62. You see Steve Park getting a little. Musgrave can steal one away from the dominant truck today, and that was Todd Bodine. The restart, and we are 2 laps away.
Pretty good start. Yeah, pretty good start for Musgrave. He's got about a truck length lead over Todd Bodine. Let's see if he can get cleanly through 1 and 2 here. A lot of times you get a lot of buildup on the tires. They don't handle that well, but looks like both of those trucks are pretty good through 1 and 2. They drove away from the 16 truck of Jack Sprague. There's a good battle. 16 Jack Sprague, 75 of David Starr. David Starr looks to the inside of Jack Sprague, trying to get up beside him. Looks like he's...
Jack Sprague into the wall. David Starr coming on as he tries to get by Jack Sprague, and they're almost nose to tail as they go 1 and 2. First and second, Ted Ted Musgrave just in front of Todd Bodine. The sparks now flying out of the 16 of Jack Sprague. Damage to that number 16. And here comes Todd Bodine. He takes over the top spot from Ted Musgrave. Bodine with the powerful truck tonight has taken over the lead as they go down the backstretch. Now just 3 and 4 separate Todd Bodine from the checkered flag. And as he comes out of turn 4, Todd Bodine will win the Las Vegas 350.
Side by side for third. Looks like David Starr got third.
We got a spin on the front stretch right here coming to the checkered flag, guys.
Chad Chapman spinning across the infield. But how about Jack Sprague after drilling the wall, sparks flying from underneath that truck, battling back side by side with David Starr.
That was a great battle for the third position, but how about
David comes down the hill there, got some good racing. Bob East on the outside. Ruderman gets really loose. Ted Musgrave goes by on the inside along with the 99 of Eric Darnell, the 85 of Setzer. Look how much momentum David Ruderman lost by the...
Back to fourth, Eric Darnell in fifth. And then problems with Bobby Hamilton Jr. into the wall, and our caution comes out once again. Fastenal dodge of Bobby Hamilton Jr. kissing the wall with the right side of the truck.
Looks like a right front tire situation. He missed the entrance to pit road that time.
He slid up the racetrack right there going into turns 1 and 2 like he almost knew something was wrong or going wrong going into the corner.
They got back in the throttle in the center of the corner, and listen right here. That's what it sounds like when a tire at 180 miles an hour.
And those tires, when they blow, they tear up more than you do when you hit the wall the most time.
Problems with the 50 of Michel Jourdain Jr. The caution has come out. It's the fourth one of the night.
A tough break for Michel Jourdain. He ran his first Truck Series race back at Texas earlier this year, had a good top 15 finish. He was running up in the top 15 and made a little contact.
On pit road.
Replay got a little loose and got into the inside wall.
Made some contact with the inside wall. He brought his truck down pit road. They did not make any contact with the outside wall.
You see how hard he was turning to the right, but still couldn't get that truck to straighten out. These high banks are sending him down the track.
We got trouble going in turn number 1.
That's Jack Sprague in the number 60, and he's going to try to hold it off of the track and out of the way of the other trucks. He's able to keep it from, I guess, making contact with any of the other drivers, but there is a lot of damage to the, looks like the deck lid.
Looks like the deck lid just came up. Maybe the deck pin that holds the deck lid down blew up there a little bit. He may not have that much damage. They just need to...
Into the field, we take one more look. There he is sliding across. He was sideways in the tri-oval, Phil.
Yeah, and that panel on the tailgate actually blew up already on that thing, so I'm not sure that could have caused that problem. If that would have blown up, it would have blocked the air on the rear spoiler, which he relies on for downforce, and that may have been why.
To get by Mike Skinner as they go across the start-finish line, the white flag out. It's 3 truck lengths between Skinner and Musgrave as they go into turn number 1. Angie Skinner, wife of Mike Skinner, eyes closed, probably saying a prayer, please don't let anything go wrong as they go down the backstretch. Skinner in front of Musgrave.
They've had a couple chances. They were so good at Texas. Todd Bodine passed him on the last lap. He and Todd Bodine wrecked on the last lap at Nashville.
Twice. Mike Skinner has finished second in the 06 season, but tonight in Vegas, he will win the Smith's Las Vegas 350.
What a great job on Mike Skinner, Jeff Hensley, that entire Bill Davis.
What's going on with that number 99 Ford, because he was all the way up to 8 and now has dropped back to the... Oh, look, Jack Sprague into the wall. Jack Sprague hard into the wall. Our first caution of the night has come out.
Looked like something either broke or right front tire went down. Jack made hard contact. He was right in front of our leader, Todd Bodine. Jack was not having a good run. He was running in the 25th position. He may have had a back at why we were under our first caution. Watch, that's our leader, Todd Bodine, and Jack was right in front of him, getting ready to go a lap down. Something broke, cut down the right front tire, made some pretty hard contact on that Conway Toyota with the wall. Probably will at least cripple him for the rest of the evening, if not knock him out of the race. But let's take another look at this incident over in turns 1 and 2 for Jack Sprague. Here's real time. You see the sparks before he ever even got halfway up to the wall. The truck just won't turn. You have something like that happen.
You can turn the steering wheel all you want, and nothing's going to stay on the outside. Ooh, got a spin.
Problems with TJ Bell in number 50. He gets into the wall, backs it up into the wall, and so problems coming out for him. Our second caution of the night.
Yeah, TJ was being shown in the 11th position, having a good run. And a Heathcliff cat litter forward for Jack Roush. Unfortunately, going to side of him. There's David Starr. Moves to the inside of Willie Allen. Here comes Mike Skinner on the inside. Oh, trouble.
Problems with the 16. It's Brian Scott taking over that ride for Dave Fuge, and actually part ownership. So Brian Scott bringing out our third caution of the night.
Brian had some trouble qualifying. Spun out coming off turn number 4. Had to go to the back of the pack, and now he's made some contact.
Actually, we're going to get a view from Jacques Villeneuve's perspective.
Watch that red truck right in front of Jacques. He gets a little bit loose, wiggles, and then Jacques comes along. Yeah, has a little help. And Jacques makes some more contact. So Jacques will be on pit road here shortly for some repairs to the body of that number 27 Toyota. For John there, a lot of success in the Craftsman Truck Series. They won races together back at Roush a few years ago. So there's a battle right there. There's Johnny Benson, the 23. That we have the lap truck of Tim Sauter, the 07, right between he and Todd Bodine. The caution flag is out. There's Chad McCumbee right there. I wonder if he was involved. Ooh, Brendan Gaughan going just past the start-finish line.
Into the wall, folks. You see the damage on the right side of that. That had to have happened when he came out of turn number 4.
This is going to go straight to the garage area. Brendan knows.
Again, that right front tire blowing on the South Point Chevrolet and hard into the wall in turn 4.
Yeah, there's another view of it. You know, so much damage from that earlier blown right front tire that, you know, there could have been something rubbing it. You know, did so much damage to the bodywork and the fender braces and things like that. But what a horrible break in the top 5.
He was right behind that 6 of Travis Quapp. We've talked about how strong he was. The 33 of Ron Hornaday. And now we've got problems 09 of Stacy Compton, who you just were talking about with the new tires. Having problems coming out of 4. He spins, gets up in the air, but stays on all 4 tires.
Yeah, I got a feeling he probably had a little help there. We'll see if we can get a look at what may have caused this.
Look back at this.
This is going to be coming off turn number 4. You see, ooh, they're together. The 30 of Todd Bodine and the 09 of Stacy Compton. Close call for Todd Bodine.
That was pretty heavy contact on the inside of that 30. They may want to bring him down pit road to make sure there isn't a problem with the inside of that truck.
Yeah, Todd will have to give up his track position. He went by the start-finish line that last time. And there's another view right there from Dennis Setzer's on board. See him get together. Todd does a great job maintaining control. These guys for the lead.
Coming back into the front of this picture. It's Travis.
Todd Bodine with trouble.
The problems for the 30 now starting as he is slow on the racetrack. The caution has come out, and it's going to come out because of Todd Bodine.
It looks like the left rear tire is up, and that's the tire that was in question, Ray.
Yeah, and absolutely. Todd Bodine had just come on the radio, too, and saying that his truck had gotten very, very loose. The first 2 times we had pit stops here, he said, I was tied up.
Back into the garage.
Paul looks to the outside of Johnny Benson. That's a battle for the second position. Not quite able to pull it off.
Ooh, trouble. Smoke coming out of the number 7. And there has been some heavy contact also.
Yeah, Jason White. Tough break for him. He was racing to try to.
This will relegate him back to potentially 28th as far as the best he'll be able to finish.
He's in the middle of a 3-wide situation. Looks like he may have moved up the racetrack and made a little contact with the 29 of Scott Lynch. Got into the outside wall. As the brakes locked up, the front brakes locked up. Makes a little bit of contact with the wall over and turns.
7th caution of the night, Phil.
Yeah. A lot of attrition here.
Taking another look, riding along with Josh Wise.
It happened right in front of Josh.
Ooh, very close.
I'm not even sure Josh knew where that truck was.
He saw the smoke. He saw the truck. Look at this pass. On the outside again. He did this to Johnny Benson coming out of turn number 4.
Oh, no. Look at Ron Hornaday
with problems. This is our points leader. He is on pit road. He's got a right front tire that blew, and the caution flag comes out.
Talk about an amazing turn of events, Ray.
I know, man. It's just crazy. Hornaday came on. He said, I feel a vibration. I feel a...
This just took place. You see the tire just doing so much damage to the right front of this truck.
Yeah, we have seen that just 2 or 3 times. We're going to ride along with Dennis Setzer in the Fastenal Dodge. Let's take a look up in front of us. In front of him right there. Look like Ron Hornaday blew the tire. He never even made contact with the outside wall. That tire did all that damage to that truck.
The vibration turned bad. Adam Alexander.
Mike Skinner knew the caution had come.
Travis Kvapil wants nothing to do with it. The white flag flies. 1 lap of racing to go.
Travis Kvapil has it right now, about a half a second ahead of Johnny Benson. John Wood continues to run in the 3rd position, and a great run for Terry Cook running 4th.
Bill, amazing how the top 3 have spread out after they had run so close together when we restarted this race inside of 10 laps to go. Travis Kvapil, Johnny Benson, John Wood, Terry Cook, and Eric Darnell, your top 5. Travis Kvapil will win his 4th race of the 2007 season.
Good runs throughout the top 10, though. Terry Cook in 4th, John Wood 3rd, Eric Darnell 5th, Josh Wise 6th, Dennis Setzer with a great run in 7th, and Stacy Compton going to be with, gets trouble off for turn 4.
Problems in turn number 4. That is
Justin Marks.
The 9 of Justin Marks. Apologize. Justin saves it. He keeps it out of the wall.
Didn't hit a thing either. Now that
brings out our 2nd caution of the night. So Justin Marks spinning out now in that Northern Tool and Equipment.
A boy named Tracy Hutchins from Martinsville, Virginia was the guy that designed that paint scheme. Caution on the racetrack.
3rd caution of the night. And this one quite possibly is for debris. Actually, no, it's Stacy Compton that has problems with the right side of that truck. Look at that. There had to have been some contact made there.
Free, and this is an important time of year for this race team. They have already announced
problems with Johnny Benson. He gets into the wall. Not only was he your race leader, he is your points leader, but that could change tonight.
Hey, 64 laps on those tires. We saw some people wear out some tires in practice, Doug.
Well, that's a lot. Here's the 23 as he enters turn 1 there. He sees right in line, and then you start sparking. The right front tire goes down, and that's a huge impact right there. That caused a lot of damage, as we could see as it got on pit road.
Yeah, let's listen in to Johnny Benson. This is what he heard.
Yeah. You hear the rubber slapping and flopping around that sheet metal right before he impacts the wall.
You have to cringe.
1 point advantage as of now. Quick thought on the championship as we go down the stretch.
It doesn't matter right now, so we're done for today, and we'll have to just pick up pieces for later. But there ain't no doubt that we had a fast truck, and it was just flawless. I mean, I'm still real surprised that happened, because it would give zero indication of that. Thing drove just incredible, and just it's
but the safety crew's now attending to these 2 drivers.
Yeah, I've been watching Brendan. He really had a pretty good truck. He was making his way towards the front, and I know hometown here in Las Vegas, I don't know how much this race means to him. You see Jack walking away right now. He's obviously not happy.
He's still looking at the racetrack, waiting, I think, for a driver to come around.
That's a look right there that he probably
been going on for quite some time. Here is the incident right here. Brendan Gaughan had to chase his truck up, caught the left rear.
And that's what I talked about earlier. The truck on the inside loses the aero, loses the side fork. Brendan, he chased that truck up the track there just a little bit, and he got right into the quarter panel of the 2 and sent them around.
We saw that 3 times with the 11 of David Starr last week. Now, it wasn't necessarily a situation where he got loose because of an arrow, but he was on the bottom, slid up into those other trucks. Brendan's really pretty fortunate. There's not a great deal of damage to that.
Welcome back. Jason White now on pit road as they're working on the back deck lid, trying to get it back down. It had folded up and almost come off of that race truck. But we are under our 6th caution of the night. This one.
Reason for this caution flag, he was riding through turn number 4. They just lost control.
does a nice job keeping that truck out of the outside wall. Shane Sieg did a very nice job avoiding that, and we're getting ready for a restart.
John Andretti and Scott Speed are running up in front.
He got hung in there. He couldn't make. Now that he's running using all the racetrack, he seems to be gaining some ground back.
Oh, trouble. Very close to getting into the walls. They came off before, and now sliding through the infield of 16 of Brian Scott. He was sideways when he came out of 4, Phil.
Yeah, so was the 09 of Bobby East. So we had a couple trucks sideways coming off 4. That seems to be the...
In this incident, let's take another look at what happened in turn 4.
See Bobby East way up. Ooh, it looked like the 16 of Brian Scott just got sideways. Bobby East was way out on the outside, and then looked like he maybe ran into the back of another truck or avoided that other truck, and it put him in the outside wall.
He was trying to catch the racetrack. That slows him down enough that Todd Bodine's going to get by him. And we've got spins. It's the 30 of Todd Bodine. He tried to take the move to the inside. He spins in turn number 2. Another caution here at Vegas.
All that started back over here at the start-finish line. Those two trucks got together coming to the trial over here, and the 30 truck was all upset as he got...
Turn 2. Yeah, fortunately, Todd was able to keep it out of the wall. You see him drive to the inside of Kyle. Ooh, then he just got a little bit loose, Doug.
It almost looks like he got a little too low and maybe clipped that apron. And what happens when you touch that apron, it forces that left front tire up in there, and it de-wedges the truck, and it'll cause it to get really loose.
See Colin Brown go by on the inside. Todd's going to try to fight back on the inside, and when he got there, he just got loose.
Yeah, he wasn't too low there, so the truck got loose, but that was a factor of the aero. And everybody right now, it's the end of the race. Track position so critical, they don't want to lift.
At 30 on pit road, Adam Alexander.
And they went him on the outside. Carries just a little bit better as they come.
Oh, problems right behind him. The 18 spinning. That is Dennis Setzer that gets turned around into number 18 coming out of turn number 4. We have seen that so many times tonight.
Looked like the 51 of Shane Sieg was also involved in that incident.
A lot of right side damage on the 51 of Shane's truck.
See Shane Sieg gets a little bit loose, chases it up the hill. We're just talking about the truck on the inside getting loose, Doug, and it happened.
And there it was, right behind the group of trucks that we were talking about, and it just takes a little tap, and away they go.
Is this another incident where we're just a little too impatient on cold tires? I mean, they just didn't have enough time. It was a restart.
Hey, we're inside of 20 laps to go. It's time to go.
You can't be impatient with 20 to go?
No. Well, you can be impatient, yeah. You need to be a little bit impatient.
I think they are right now.
Real time, you see a lot of damage on Shane Sieg's truck there, the 51. He got up against the
pass. Here comes Darnell on the outside. A crash behind them and problems at turn 2. That is the 08 of Jason White. Once again, our caution has come out. Again,
Darnell, he opened up a truck length or so in front of Skinner. Skinner's fighting back now.
Here comes the momentum of Mike Skinner on the restart. Colin Brown, does he look to the outside? They're looking tame. Here comes Matt Crafton. Crafton to the outside of that 33 of Hornaday.
Look, he's going to bring Crawford with a 3-wide. Look at John Andretti.
Oh, problems on the backstretch again. We've got another one spinning down the backstretch as this continues to unfold in 3 and 4. The caution once again gets brought out, and it's David Starr that turns around in hard contact with the inside wall.
Boy, from about 4th on back, NASCAR is going to have to look at
the laps. Take another look at what happened.
It's a little contact right there. Looked like the 16 maybe of Brian Scott made some contact with David Starr around David. It went pretty hard contact with the inside wall.
A lot of damage right there to the number 11 Red Horse team.
Ooh, Todd Bodine just barely creeped by on the inside. Yep. He gave David plenty of room, just avoided David. You know, these caution laps are really helping John Andretti. John has had a great race right now.
Green flag back in the air. Mike Skinner all over the back bumper of Eric Darnell. This time, he's going to go to the high side. Skinner trying to make the move on the outside.
Side by side off for turn 2. Let's see if Eric can fight back on the inside. They're lined up on the outside drafting.
There he goes down the backstretch. It is a drag race. Skinner has the edge. Colin Brown tried to make the move by the 99. Here comes Darnell back on the inside. We will have one lap to determine this one tonight. The white flag in the air. Skinner, Darnell cross the start-finish line.
Look at 3 wide there. Remember, if the caution flag were to come out, this race would be over. Eric needs to do something now.
Mike Skinner looking to find victory lane again in his career. Problems behind him. Will that bring out the caution? Not yet. They're holding it out. No caution as of this point. It's going to be a battle. Here comes Eric Darnell. He charges to the outside. Coming out of turn number 4, side by side. Who's going to win it? It is going to be Mike Skinner. Skinner will win it over Eric Darnell.
How about that finish?
Woo! Big crash right in front of the start-finish line. Colin Brown with a lot of damage. What an unbelievable finish. Congratulations, the winning crew chief. We could do the interview right here. Doug Richard, the winning crew chief for tonight's race. Mike Skinner back in victory lane in 2008.
That was something.
Just taking place here in Las Vegas.
Saw Brendan in the middle there. The 7 of TJ Bell came down a little bit. Got Brendan a little bit loose. Brendan did a nice job trying to save that truck. Around he went. Remember, no caution flag yet as these guys race through 3 and 4. There's another view. You see Brendan got a little bit loose. Actually had to chase it up the hill. Made a little bit of contact with TJ Bell.
What's hurting them is these guys further back that are running side by side. They lose a little bit of that momentum.
No problems. Taylor Balsam sideways on the racetrack as he works his way through 4. Field slows, and it looks like it's going to be a 1-truck incident.
Boy, it looked like Ryan Sieg did a nice job. He was right behind Taylor Balsam. Looked like he avoided getting into him. May have flat spotted the tires a little bit.
There's a lot of people that were real fortunate on this deal. You see Taylor's going down pit road here. Both right side flat tires. I mean, if they
were under our first caution.
See right of your screen, that's the 81 of Taylor Balsam. He's right behind David Starr in the 24. And the back end just gets out from under him. Around it goes. But watch Ryan Sieg, a little contact with Brian Eichler and the 16 of Brian Scott on the inside.
I think as a whole, as a whole there, everybody did an excellent job. There could have been 3 or 4 trucks there. Taylor just looks like he got in there. He got loose, probably did surprise him. And just, you know, real fortunate. All 3 of those guys up there on the top side could have been a lot worse than what it was right there.
Taylor Balsam sideways.
Heavy traffic. You see the trucks going almost 3 wide underneath him to get by.
Everybody slows down. Again, our first caution has come out. This race not starting on time because we had some lights go out earlier. But now that we've got it underway.
The racetrack does a nice job catching that truck up against the wall.
Problems in turn number 4 has brought out our second caution. It's the 15 of Brian Eichler.
See the akawareness.com.
Take a look at what happened with the 15. Sideways up top again.
Looked like he was just a little bit loose. Terry Cook looked like he did a wonderful job avoiding that 15 truck when he came down. Caused top, he gets sideways. Ooh, he got loose on the bottom, slid up the racetrack, had to avoid the 16 of Brian Scott, but what a terrific job controlling that truck.
That was an awesome job.
There he is, just about. Problems on the racetrack once again. This time it's Ricky Carmichael that gets into the wall. Our third caution of the day, and it's Carmichael that makes contact with the outside wall. A lot of damage to him.
And obviously with the damage he has, it's not going to happen. You see him on the inside. He gets loose, has to chase it up the hill. Max Pappas also spins. But Ricky makes some contact with the outside wall. But that's the case you were talking about, Rick, when we see a lot of trucks spin on mile-and-a-half racetracks. You get on the inside, you lose that air off the spoiler. And remember, these guys may not be wide open, but they're awfully close to it, Johnny.
Well, they are, and that's one of the things that Ricky is learning, is what you can and can't get away with when you do get close. You can see right there the back starts to pull around. There's no side force on a truck. And, you know, it could have been a lot worse than that. You know, he hits the wall. Yeah, it does some pretty good damage, but nobody else was involved. Nobody hits him. And the 9 looked like he got away without hitting anything.
Take a view from the Lumber Liquidators on board. Watch Ricky now. He's going to be very, very close to the 9. He's right beside him. Loses that air off the spoiler, and that thing snaps around. Chad McCumbee does a nice job with that Garmin Chevrolet, avoiding Ricky Carmichael.
Double A. Bodine just stops Johnny Sauter back out on the racetrack, your race leader, and into the wall is the 16 of Brian Scott. A lot of damage to the right side of that truck, and the caution has come out once again. It is the 5th caution of the night.
Now, this is when the strategy is going to come into play. Everybody has enough fuel to get to the end. Are we going to come in, put 4 tires on, Johnny, 2 tires, or maybe stay out?
This one's going to be a tough call because
there's Brian Scott. I don't know if he maybe cut something down. He was up high. That may be because he had a soft tire, Johnny.
It is. You know, these guys have been out on these tires for quite a long time, so it's a gamble. Right now, it's a total gamble. We're right city for it, though.
That's right.
1 to go for Johnny Sauter. White flag in the air. 1.5 miles remains between he and his first win in the Camping World Truck Series.
He's got over a 2-second lead over his teammate right now. He just has to make sure he has enough fuel to get to the end.
Down the Nellis straightaway he goes. Half a lap between Johnny Sauter and that first win. A flawless 3 and 4. He comes out to the grandstands. The fans on their feet. Johnny Sauter will win at Las Vegas.
What a great job by Johnny Sauter, that ThorSport team. 1-2 finish for ThorSports. And Jason White does get his career best finish in 3rd.
He's got that spot. That just shows you how strong that truck is. We know how difficult it is to complete passes down on the bottom.
Problem on the racetrack. The 47 of Jeffrey Earnhardt gets turned around.
Narain Karthikeyan also gets turned around. Great job by Rick Crawford avoiding that situation.
Look at all that mess. They're still trying to dodge each other over there.
And Jeffrey Earnhardt came down from the wall, and a lot of trucks still dodging to make sure they didn't make contact, but he's got a left front tire down on that 47.
Yeah, they're all 4 flat spotted too. They're going to be a mess. We saw the...
See, Jeffrey Earnhardt has already spun down off the racetrack. Now he slides back up. It looked like Narain, watch Rick Crawford now, just barely miss the 47 of Jeffrey Earnhardt.
Now watch Earnhardt turn hard left, and that made some trucks that were getting there really late have to make some crazy moves.
Looked like there was a chicane in the backstretch there.
Watch this Earnhardt truck. You could see Narain was just up high trying to miss. Look at Rick Crawford. Now watch this truck of the 47. Holy cow.
That was, wow. Is that David Starr maybe that just barely missed him?
Very close call for, it looked like David Starr.
Now he's able to score ahead of these two, and he leaves Sauter and Skinner to be side by side.
Yeah, it's a little early in the race. I'm all for racing and racing hard, but we saw Skinner.
And almost around goes the 5 of Skinner. Sauter doesn't back off. He stays in the back bumper of the 5. It gets airborne.
That's tore that truck all to pieces, Phil.
Yeah, it just folded that splitter right up underneath that truck. Looked like Johnny Sauter got into him a little bit and then just looked like he never turned him loose.
If he had just backed off the gas, maybe Skinner did an amazing job keeping that thing straight.
Adam?
Well, Mike Skinner just... Jason was getting on their nerves a little bit. He put these two in this position. Watch, Mike gets sideways and saves it, but then Johnny just doesn't let him go.
And right here, he goes airborne.
Oh, that looked like Kyle Busch qualifying one day, remember?
Yes. So a lot of damage to the front end of the 5. We see it once again. 13 in the 5 coming off of turn 4.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Yeah, look at the damage to that truck, too.
Lucky he didn't bounce back out in the middle of all that traffic. Did a good job of saving that thing to start with.
Here's what Todd Bodine saw with his onboard. He saw him. He just backed off for a minute when Skinner went.
Todd Bodine's running 3rd.
Oh, Narain Karthikeyan into the wall. That will bring out our 6th caution as the flag flies now. Into turn 3 was where Narain Karthikeyan got into the wall. Now he makes his way onto pit road, but not before the pace is slowed once again with just 40 laps of racing to go.
Yeah, Narain had got into the wall earlier than in between Narain and the outside wall. You see him racing with David Mayhew.
Well, he slides up in front of David, in fact, all the way up to the wall. And you're right, Phil. The reason why he wrecked the second time was that right there. Put that right front fender down on that tire, and it just blew out.
Yeah, he rode around for another half, 3/4 of a lap, and then the other end of the racetrack are actually going in turn number 3. Watch this now. You see the tire goes down. Nothing he could do at that point. That was hard enough contact on that first incident, Michael, that I think he probably should have been directed to pit road.
Immediately. We saw smoke and it just...
Will receive it. He has a A mile and a half to go from Las Vegas.
What an outstanding job this young man has done, really, this entire season, but just may, if he can go another half a lap, put win number 2 in the books.
Man, that run he had last week in Loudon, being able to rebound from a truck he didn't like all the way to a top 5 finish, and that's propelled him here. What do we got off turn 4? We
got a spinner off of 4.
Spinner off turn number 4. That's where Austin Dillon is coming through. He slows as that truck clears him, and the checkered flag will fly. Austin Dillon wins in Vegas.
It's a good thing he had that big lead, Phil.
Sure is, because he had to slow down for Mario Goslin.
In the 12 was the one who spun off of turn number 4. Sauter coming home second, Buescher third.
Let's take a look at what happened to him in practice yesterday. This is final practice with not a whole lot of time left.
I talked to Jason. He said, you know, they sort of made an interesting setup. They adjusted the truck to try to make a fast qualifying run. We've talked about the fact that he just doesn't qualify well. That team wanted to try to understand what was going on.
Spot the Buescher as well. Oh, look, he's sideways.
Completely sideways into the fence, and now into the wall goes the 3 of Austin Dillon. That will bring out our first caution.
Guys, that's our point leader.
We talked about before the race.
Get a flat tire.
He was so
Flat tire,
loose
guys.
through 1 and 2. We made comments about that.
Well, we talked about before the race, crashes could affect this championship battle. This is our point leader, like you said, Phil. That truck's going to have some serious repairs to the right front.
Yeah, look at all the damage of that right front as well.
Austin Dillon, take another look.
Here he is coming off turn 4. He's going to get a little bit sideways right here. Almost saves it. Just kisses that outside wall. Parker Klugman does an incredible job to avoid him.
He was down in turn 1 and 2, had the same thing happen. Got sideways, and this time it got all the way away from him. Heard Austin say that possibly he had a tire going down because he was that loose. That wouldn't be too hard to believe because we've never seen, we haven't seen Austin make very many mistakes at all in his young career, leading the points. Possibly he had a tire flat.
Another look. Again, that's coming out of turn 4.
What about Parker Kligerman?
Incredible job.
The world's ending right in front of me. He actually made some contact with the outside wall. Let's go inside of Austin's truck and listen to the gas.
You could hear him back off the throttle just as that back end kicked out a little bit. Thought he had it saved there for a moment. Then the second time, it went on around.
We talked about.
Sure, and when we talked about accidents before the race even started, maybe
problems for Pappas. Pappas goes into the wall.
Right front straightaway. Caution's out.
Max Pappas, a lot of damage to the front end of that race truck.
Looks a whole lot like Austin Dillon's truck did after he went for a spin off turn 4.
Max Pappas running into...
And off turn 4, you see this 66 of Max Gresham to the outside. Is Max going to squeeze up? Oh, Gresham gets a little bit sideways and then comes down into Max.
Yeah, there was...
Max maybe looked like he was coming up as well.
A couple of contributing factors there.
Can I ask you, Michael?
That if Hornaday would leave.
And around goes the 4 of Ricky Carmichael. He's going to slide back up into the field. Catches Cale Gale. Brian Eichler in the mix.
Miguel Paludo, the 7, is in the middle of that with a lot of damage.
Man, those guys just had a terrible front straightaway. Hornaday went high. There was plenty of room for Carmichael to run the middle of the road. He got down there with Johnny Sauter, laying on Sauter, and by the time they got to turn 1, excuse me,
they're 3 wide there for second, and there was the contact.
Looked like Johnny Sauter came up a little bit. Ricky Carmichael was halfway in the middle of that 3-wide battle. Wow. Look at the damage there when Brian Eichler makes contact with Ricky, and Miguel Paludo also with nowhere to go. He was right behind Eichler.
Did you see how far that 18 truck went up under?
Just about to the windshield.
Yes, sir.
Of the 18 truck.
You can see there, Johnny Sauter made himself an angle for the turn, and Ricky Carmichael happened to be up above him, making contact and sending Ricky at about 175 miles an hour, spinning down toward turn 1 and all that oncoming traffic. Look at the front of that truck, totally devastated.
The 39 of Ryan Sieg looked like he got run into from behind. He also spun around. There's the initial contact between the 13 and the 4. Now Ricky is along for the ride, trying to hold the brakes to keep that truck down on the bottom of the racetrack. No way he could do it.
Phil, the other view that we had from behind looked as though it was David Starr that was on the outside of the 4, and they made contact. Well, we saw the 13 coming up, and that's what Ricky Carmichael looked like he was trying to avoid.
There wasn't any room for Ricky Carmichael right there. As the problem, Johnny Sauter looked like he came up, as Michael said, to get a good angle into the corner, and there wasn't any room for Ricky.
The whole front straightaway, it wasn't sanitary. They were making different lines and different angles. Maybe Johnny Sauter thought he should have some more room off Ricky.
Let's ride along with the Monster Energy truck of Ricky Carmichael. There's Starr going by on the outside, and there's the contact.
Here comes the contact.
Oh, again. Wow. So a big hit.
Before he got there, everyone on the racetrack knows he's coming up, but there's just nothing they can do about it.
Look at Todd Bodine sneaking through, really fast truck. Also, Parker Kligerman was all up in the middle of that mess and was able to keep his truck heading in the right direction without any damage. For a little bit, Johnny, I need some space.
Need a little extra space here.
There's not going to be a whole lot of wide open here today.
Into the infield. Max Gresham in the 66 and the 73 of Brent Raymer goes sideways. Raymer in the grass, Gresham back up on the racetrack.
Michael, you called it. With these hot conditions here, we haven't had a day race here in several years. Never on this newer surface, the reconfigured surface. We've had a lot of attrition.
Crash, crash, crash. Those dudes were racing for the 18th. That'll blow up the motor running around with the oil running out of it.
Brent Raymer gets a little bit loose. Max really with nowhere to go was right behind him, and he's just going to carry each other right into the infield here.
Another couple of trucks.
Whoa, look at Max get airborne.
Across that quarter-mile racetrack right in the infield here.
Another couple of trucks that were ahead of Austin Dillon. He's just going to keep creeping up toward that top 20, like you said.
There's Austin. He's going to have a good look at this. You see the 73 of Brent Raymer get sideways. See Austin way off the gas here. Now he sees him down in the grass. He's going to get back in the throttle and get by just in case they may slide back up the racetrack.
Ricky Carmichael's view.
Watch these trucks jump through the infield. Wow.
Ricky's like, don't come up the racetrack. I've already experienced that today.
You could hear Ricky get in the brakes hard and actually lock the rear wheels up. There's another view. The 73 of Brent Raymer gets sideways.
Watch these trucks hit the infield track and how much they leave the ground. Just some good old boys.
All four tires off the ground. He cleared the rest of that quarter-mile track.
Ain't no making no noise.
Coming to pit road, Hornaday leading the field once again, just behind.
They're really having some strong runs. There's Hornaday.
Problems behind Hornaday. Blake Feast in the 32.
Is that James Busher? Our point leader right now?
James Busher in the 31. Extensive damage to that truck.
Well, boys, let's just bring Timothy Peters and Ron Hornaday back in this point battle. What do you think?
Right back into this point battle.
And then
James Busher in the 31.
Yeah, Blake just gets loose right in front of James. James absolutely nowhere to go. He gets pinned up against the outside wall.
We talked earlier that James just didn't seem to have the truck to run toward the front with, running back there in 14th or 15th. Another truck spins around in front of him, and he's in trouble.
It's
unlucky, but it's also about performance. He just hadn't had the truck to get to the front with today.
And we thought that our points battle was tight coming into this race. Well, there was only 3 points that separated the top two. Well, now enter 4 and 5 in this points battle. So now you've got 5 guys that are all running within 35 points of each other for the championship.
Hey, Ricky Carmichael, see what he saw there.
I can't believe
right out in front of him. You're going to see Blake get sideways. Then James had committed to the outside. Nowhere to go. Ricky does a nice job just jumping down to the apron to get by. The 10th back on lap number 52. So 7 laps. Joey Coulter. Just as you said, Michael.
Yeah, more than just that tire going down. He's got some suspension damage, that 22 back into the wall. That brings the caution out for the 7th time today.
Yeah, you called it exactly, Michael.
Joey. Coming low.
Well,
we're not halfway. 7 cautions. We aren't halfway.
I'm going to need a relief commentator.
Normally when you get into the wall as hard as Joey did earlier, you have some pretty significant damage. They didn't spend a great deal of time on pit road, so he goes down in the corner and looks like maybe something cut that right front tire again. Right in front of Brendan Gaughan. Brendan, one of those dudes, close your eyes and maybe he'll be gone when you get there. Nice job by Brendan.
Take another look. Brendan Gaughan just behind that 22 and just slid up the racetrack and into the wall. 7 cautions battling for 3rd now.
Strong run on the bottom of the racetrack for Johnny Sauter. He pulled.
Oh, trouble.
Right behind our leaders into the wall. Hard contact.
Justin Lofton looked like he might have got clipped and turned into the outside wall. Brendan, right in front of Cale Gale.
Cale Gale gets caught up in this.
Holy cow.
Ninth caution comes out. Debris all over the racetrack.
Cale just truck looks just like Brian Eichers did when he ran into Ricky Carmichael.
Austin Dillon moving by.
Lofton was running in the 6th spot, Phil, when he had trouble going down the back straightaway.
This may be a couple more per schedule.
And if you
for
think
that team,
they're going to have a hard time getting Ron out of that 2 truck, they better put a 2 on that truck if they want him to drive it.
Wow, Cale looked like he was at full speed when Justin came back up the racetrack. Justin could not control his truck down on the bottom.
Cale did an amazing job missing the wreck earlier.
See Justin Lofton now. He's side by side with Brendan Gaughan. Didn't leave Brendan enough room on the outside. They made contact, turned Justin into the wall.
Now look how far behind.
But look all the damage, though, the 6 of Justin Lofton has. He gets down to the apron here.
And he just, Cale Gale didn't expect Justin not to be able to turn. Obviously, the truck was tore all to pieces. It just went straight when he got to the corner. Cale did not understand that that's what was going to happen.
Yeah, and we haven't talked enough about the 62 here, Brendan Gaughan. He's on the outside. He gets caught up and slams into the wall.
Yeah, Brendan was all up against the wall as far as he could go. Justin, I think, may have just lost the front end, got into Brendan, then it turned him into the outside wall. A lot of damage to Brendan's truck. He's bringing it down pit road now, Rick.
His wouldn't turn either when he got down to turn 3.
Brendan Gaughan making
there and talk about taking advantage of opportunities. He came into this race second in the Rookie of the Year standings.
Jason White and Jennifer Jo Cobb into the wall, bringing out our 10th caution here at Las Vegas.
Now, how the heck did that happen?
We saw Jason White's truck that was losing power but and trailing smoke behind it.
Wonder if that was a flat tire maybe on Jason's truck and he couldn't turn, and Jennifer was in the same position that.
We've seen some other guys in.
We watched.
Going to happen. Didn't want to be on the outside of that 23, so slowed up, went to the inside.
We thought it was an engine problem. It's not an engine problem. He's going to get down to the corner. It's not going to turn. Jennifer's going around the outside. That's a situation where if she would have looked ahead and maybe saw the smoke from the right front, that may have been a deal where don't go on the outside, just like Austin didn't want to do that.
So the 10th caution has come out. The record for cautions here is 12. That was back in 2008. We don't want to break that record today.
Yeah, you always know that the best thing to do is to go low because that truck's not going to turn like it was.
Right along with Brendan Gaughan, the Big O Tires 62. This is what he saw.
Did Jason get into the?
That's David Starr.
That's David Starr was smoking in front of him.
Did Jason White make some contact with the outside wall and?
Las Vegas. Already, Ty Dillon looks to make it 3 wide as they go to turn number 1.
Johnny Sauter did make it 3 wide on the inside in that Sealmaster Toyota.
And that's one of those deals where David Mayhew, he didn't want to look too overzealous at the beginning of the race, so he stayed in line. What happens? Somebody puts him 3 wide. So you either go and do it or you get it done to here in the Truck Series.
Still side by side for the lead. Timothy Peters on the bottom of the racetrack. Joey Coulter falling back just a bit as they go through 3 and 4.
Oh,
and sideways goes the 11 of Bodine. Bodine around, coming out of turn 4. Just as they were coming to the the start-finish line, the checkered line across the start-finish of this racetrack, the 11 of Todd Bodine slides sideways coming out of
trouble here as of late. You could see David Mayhew up in front there sliding up the track as well. We talked about how tough these turns are when you get all the trucks in a pack. Todd just loses control of his truck, it looks like to me.
Yeah, he had Parker behind him, but there was at least 2 or 3 feet in between. No contact there from his teammate.
And you know, this is something that we've seen Todd struggle with lately. You can just see the thing start to bobble and boom, it's around on him.
Boy, it didn't get far out of shape at all before it finally went. Looked like it just wiggled a little bit, a couple degrees, and then around it went.
We talked earlier about the bad luck that Red Horse Racing has continued to have over the past 3 weeks. And here on lap number 1, Todd Bodine goes sideways. And the 3 look to the inside of that 17 and
cautions on the speedway.
Once again, the caution comes out. This time the 65 goes around into the grass. That's Chris Lafferty.
Had a problem exiting turn number 4. Not sure Chris hit anything either. We've had 3 spins and nobody's hit a thing.
You know, you talk about bad luck. That's all good luck.
That's good luck.
Let's spin and not hit anything. Tires are flat.
See, right at the exit of turn number 4, just got sideways and drove her down into the grass there. Did a nice job not hitting anything. Guys, we talk about Todd Bodine, who cost our first caution spinning. He's already moved up to the 16th position.
And this caution will be
1/10 of a second lead over Ty Dillon. Oh, hard into the wall, the 65. That is Chris Lafferty. We saw him slide out of 4 earlier, and now this time major contact with the wall.
How about Parker Kligerman driving through there completely sideways, trying to avoid Chris Lafferty?
Wow. He needs to leave that baby setting there. That's oil running out of it, or water at least, and probably oil. Will blow the motor up if he drives it around.
Safety crew gets to him. The issues have been in turn 4. Once again, Chris Lafferty.
And that sun we were talking about is gone. Now it's pretty much gone down behind the grandstands.
And we saw Todd Bodine sideways off turn 4. So these guys are struggling. See if we can see what happens. Oh, look. Catches the apron and watch this baby shoot up the hill. Phil, how many times back in the day? Oh, hard contact.
Watch Parker Kligerman go through there.
Look at that.
Sideways.
How many times back in the day do we hear Dick Beatty tell us in the NASCAR meetings, when you get down on the side on the track, turn left and lock her down. You can come back and get some more tires. That was a lesson right there Chris Lafferty could have used. Watch Kligerman. Wow, he about crashes. There just wasn't anything to gain from turning that baby that hard to the right down on the apron.
We've run long enough now. We've
in traffic. Now the truck is too tight. They're talking about maybe 2 tires on their last stop for the 32. Rick.
Thanks, Herbie. Nice job. Caution coming out just as you guys wrapped up that run through, and it's Brendan Newberry in the 14 that slams into the wall.
Newberry was on the lead lap, running inside the top 15, having a really solid run, but man.
Another truck having problems off of turn number 3, turn 3 and 4 down this end of the racetrack.
That thing squished pretty significantly there on the trying to pass.
Take a look top of our screen there. Side-by-side action. Brendan Newberry was on the inside of a truck. Lost a little bit of air. That was Grant Enfinger. He was on the inside. Lost a little bit of air off the rear spoiler, and around he went.
That was another situation from that lesson from Dick Beatty. Would have helped that young man if he had had that baby cranked to the left right there. Maybe he could have kept it out of the outside wall, but he was in a bind. We saw that's exactly how Kligerman got sideways underneath Peters. Once those things get out that far, it's just almost impossible to hang.
Took away that air from the spoiler. He dropped back numerous positions and now trying to battle back into the top 5.
I worried about the extra time and losing the track position by changing 4 tires.
Way up the racetrack goes the 32, catches the 6, and around goes Justin Lofton, hits the 13 of Johnny Sauter. They crash right at the start-finish line, and they catch the 32 of Miguel Paludo.
Wow, that was a huge crash.
Yeah, and that was a long time in developing, too. The 6 of Justin Lofton got sideways way early at the exit of 4. Just about saved that thing.
I think someone clipped the 6 of Justin Lofton. I saw some contact there, and he held on to it forever and all the way down the front straightaway. You could watch here as Miguel Paludo gets a little bit loose right there. Had a slow truck of Norm Benning ahead. Norm didn't do anything wrong. Miguel just got loose and wow, right into the side, almost flipped him over.
Yep. Yeah, Johnny was as far down on the bottom of the racetrack on the apron as he could be. Just nowhere to go when Justin Lofton got down there.
So numerous trucks involved in this, the 6th caution here tonight.
You can see there's concerns ahead. You see the slower red truck up ahead. So Paludo's going to try to squeeze up a little bit. I think his truck gets sideways. He clips Lofton, and watch Lofton. He almost saves this baby.
I thought he had it saved right there. And so frequently when it goes back the other way, the next time it gets sideways with the front end going left, it's worse.
Look at James Busher just barely slipping by. Johnny Sauter not so fortunate. And watch Miguel Paludo. He's watching what's going on. Going to make a move here to the inside. But then he had one coming up from the bottom as well. Just barely gets hit, though. Not a lot of damage. Good job by Paludo not getting involved in the crash that he was a part of starting.
that he somewhat caused coming out of turn 4.
As you mentioned, look at the contact between Sauter and Lofton.
All four tires.
All four tires on Lofton's truck off the ground. Look at the debris flying off the 13 of Sauter.
Let's ride along with James Busher. See how close this was.
You can see Paludo wiggle. And watch James. Just so fortunate that he was the guy in the middle of the track and Johnny Sauter was on the bottom for Buescher.
And that's all James right there. He saw those two trucks get loose. He saw them get together.
He had over Nelson Piquet Jr. as they raced across the start-finish line. Amazing racing here in Vegas with these trucks.
Crafton trying to come up, take the spot away from Nelson Piquet Jr., but the momentum on the high side keeps the 30 in front as they come down the backstretch.
I'm telling you, if they caution's out. And who was leading when the caution came?
Saw in the back of our screen the first time that 7 got into the wall. And then that was the damage after the right front went away.
That's the most recent time he's got into the outside wall.
That ended it for him right there.
Yeah. Yeah, we knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
If the right front didn't go, the right rear was going to go.
Should have made a call there just to salvage the losses, Hermie. And I wouldn't bet against that either.
White flag goes in the air. One more time around Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Crafton has a 2-truck length advantage over Nelson Piquet Jr. But now going into turn 1. Piquet Jr. charges down to the bottom of the racetrack, tries to slide in front of the 80, makes the pass as they come out of turn number 2.
He did the slide job on him and it worked.
What a move.
Nelson Piquet Jr. out in front of the 88, going through 3 and 4. Can Crafton steal it back away from Piquet Jr.? It's not going to happen. Coming to the stripe, Nelson Piquet Jr. wins his 2nd Truck Series win.
Holy cow.
He said that was a win. No fuel mileage involved in this. From the number 6 of Justin Lofton, then on their side by side.
Oh! Miguel Paludo goes around coming out of turn 4. No one's going to get into him. He gets into the grass.
Came so close to taking out his teammate James Buescher.
What a close call that was.
Remember Kansas when it was just the other way around and James Buescher was on the inside racing for the lead, got loose, took out Miguel Paludo. That was awfully close to him taking Buescher out.
Yeah, his teammate James Buescher riding in the 5th spot. Looked like Paludo was trying to get to the bottom. We talked about being on the inside and how loose
he gets loose and then wiggles and then tries to chase it. Right there, you see, almost chased it up into the 31 of Buescher.
What about the job that Timothy Peters and then Ross Chastain do avoiding that spinning truck? Man, that's happening at 170 miles an hour. And watch Peters, how cool he is when Miguel gets loose. Peters panics. This is a crash for Timothy. He doesn't do anything. He's calm. Ross has to make a quick move to the outside. That's some great driving.
Certainly is. There's some of those guys awfully young, but sure looked pretty experienced right there.
Veterans. Timothy Peters just slight move to the left, and he's able to avoid that 32. And Miguel Paludo still trying to make his way around the track to get back onto pit road. You see the left rear tire also flat on that truck.
To do to finish in the top 10 that many times in a row, but he's certainly done it. Ooh, Brendan gone.
Brendan drove
there
to
with
the
that lap truck.
Brendan got passed on the outside, or excuse me, by
back out.
Oh, man.
How about this move? The 3 of Ty Dillon as the caution comes out. Take it easy. Brendan Newberry in the 24 slides and is on pit road. Phil just hit Michael in the mouth with paper, so everybody's good here, I think, now.
And while Chastain was driving by Brendan Gaughan, Brendan tried to make the move back by Chastain, and here comes Ty Dillon. That's the kind of battling I love.
Now they'll have to check the loops to find out
Keep going, pit road speed.
who was in front of who. The 3, the 19, and the 62 all were battling for position about when the caution came out. Take another look at what happened.
See him right by himself there. What an incredible job those drivers did behind him.
Yeah, Ryan Sieg in the 39, an incredible job of saving that with the 24 sliding in front of him.
Winner was running in the 14th spot. Actually missed our last race due to an illness.
Like the rest of the field, this move worked out. You gamble sometimes in Vegas, sometimes you win.
He was all in.
Brian Silas in the 99 spins to bring out caution number 3 from Las Vegas.
We've seen a couple of...
Brian Silas will bring that truck to the attention of his crew. This is coming out of turn 4 once again.
All by himself, just got loose. Here comes the whole world to pit road, Rick.
Pit road is open. Being led down pit road by the 19 of Ross Chastain. Let's go to Hermie first.
Very timely caution for Brendan Gaughan in the 62 team within 3 laps of having to come down pit road under green. It'll be 4 tires, a chassis adjustment in the left rear, and Sunoco fuel.
It's heating up.
Darrell Wallace Jr. has done a great job. Oh, there goes Newberry around.
Brennan Newberry has the 9 of Ron Hornaday right behind him. We knew it was close. That could have taken some of the air off the spoiler. Brennan Newberry, he goes around.
Did you see Hornaday? He just was sitting there with his brakes on, waiting for that truck to spin out of his way, and I don't think he made any contact with him.
It doesn't look like there's contact to the driver's side of that 24.
The right front tire is down on that truck. Pluto.
Well, this is really close on entry, and Hornaday gets loose.
Up the track, and contact is made.
You know, that's the last truck Ron Hornaday would want to take out. That's his teammate. You see, it looks like Ron got into the outside wall, Michael.
He can't see where he's going, but he just does an amazing job of working his way through that. Teammates racing side by side, and the veteran gets loose and into the rookie.
Right along with Matt Crafton.
Couldn't tell from that angle whether the 9 of Ron Hornaday got into the outside wall or not.
I saw him get into the wall field. I think he bounced off of it. Not enough to end his night. He's going to have to come in and get some tires because he was trying to slide those babies to stay off of Newberry and did an amazing job.
Wallace Jr. Reason for the caution coming out of turn number 4. Ross Chastain in the 19 sideways and into the grass.
Darrell Wallace Jr. show a lot of strength in this race. Good pitch strategy gets him out there in the second spot. Got trouble.
Issues in turn 2. Trucks into the wall. Brennan Newberry, it looks like, in front in the 24, as well as that 81 of Matt Krzyzewski.
Yeah, Matt's been able to stay on the lead lap, doing a nice job there, but a lot of damage to that 81 truck.
And the window net goes down for Matt.
Looks like Brennan's going to survive another spin.
Restarts are crazy, and these guys proved that once again.
Yeah, great restart there by
Justin Lofton in the 6.
He was able to squirt out there on that bottom lane. Got to keep that in mind for later in the race. I know the outside is traditionally where you want to be because it gives.
3 truck works better on the high side, but if those guys don't give him any room.
Oh, got a spinner off turn 4.
Matter.
Sliding through the grass once again. This time it's Chad Hockenbraun, the 51. And the caution comes out again.
And you know, I don't think I can stress how on the edge of control these guys are every lap. Even if you're leading the race, you're driving.
To come in. Does he come in now, or is he waiting till closer to the end of the race?
I think he has to come now to give him some time to pass some trucks.
And we've seen how hard passing is to do. You put a truck in the lead and then put him in the back of the pack, he can't go anywhere. Ross Chastain comes to mind. He's spun and he's still mired in the back.
Riding along with James Busher. That was what he saw coming out of turn 4.
And how many times have we seen trucks lose control completely by themselves at the exit of turn 4?
None since here, 2011. Got a caution, guys. Got a caution.
Caution's going to come out. The 10 truck, the right front tire looks as though it went away, and a lot of damage to the right side. Jennifer Joe Cobb in the 10.
Oh, my goodness. We're going to have a restart here inside of 5 laps to go.
Yes, we are, and we've got several different handling trucks near the front. The one that's... I'll go along with that. The one that's going to be most interesting to watch is Ty Dillon up all night long.
Jennifer Joe Cobb in the 10, bringing out our most recent caution. This is number 9. See, you're already into the wall coming at us. So they will have to work.
Ooh, boy, that tire just
to clean this racetrack.
And Phil, what if you're Matt Crafton, you got to come to pit road, don't you? He's falling all the way back outside the top 10 to 14. His truck isn't right.
Into the tri-oval. The 17 of Timothy Peters. 1 lap to go.
Remember, that 17 team, Red Horse Racing, has never won on a 1.5 miles.
That stat could change tonight. An impressive run for Johnny Sauter down the backstretch, running in the 2nd spot.
Miguel Pluto from a spin early in the race. He's in the 3rd spot.
Timothy Peters coming out of turn number 4. Started 12th in this race.
1.5 miles, he said, boys.
And he gets the win.
1.5 miles before.
Timothy Peters, his 7th career win, and the first time he'll go to victory lane in Las Vegas.
If you're Ryan Blaney and you've got that truck on your outside, and we have trouble behind him. As the leaders cross the start-finish line, completing our second lap, coming off of turn 4, it was the 15 of Mason Mingus who had problems.
A new team for Mason Mingus. You see, he brought his sponsorship over. The Call Before You Dig 811. He brought it over to Billy Boat Motorsports. We know Billy Boat.
I'm surprised more people don't spin out.
Just 2 laps in, and our first caution of the night. It's for Mason Mingus. Green flag when we return to Las Vegas.
Between Gallagher and Sauter, we know how fast this 51 truck is with Kyle Busch behind the wheel. Oh, we got a spinner.
Second caution of the night. It's for the 99 of Brian Silas. He too was exiting turn 4 when he got into the infield grass, was running 17th when he had his issue.
We've completed 13 laps right now. Sometimes if we would get close to 30.
And a half race inside the top 10 at Chicagoland. Had a top 10 run earlier this year at Texas as well.
Wow, he just got loose up off the turn. And how's that feel? I mean, you're coming off a corner, probably running 160 miles an hour, and the thing just snaps around on you, as you can see here.
It was late off the corner as well, it seemed like. You see, got a little bit looser just as the racetrack is flattening out at the exit of turn 4.
You might think a little bit of a bobble down low in the corner, and it just magnified to a spin off.
14 laps complete here at Las Vegas. Darrell Wallace Jr., the race leader in the Rhino Linings 350.
Don't calm down here. Go get him here. Twice he's almost wrecked me. Pretty sick of it.
That's Ryan Blaney. Now caution on the racetrack, Adam.
5th time tonight. You see Ryan Blaney on track, and as we see him, it's Armand Quiroga making his way down the pit lane, and there's the 20 of Jason White.
Yeah, Jason's made some pretty significant contact in that Gunbroker Chevrolet with the outside wall. You see all the...
Quiroga right now is 19th as we watch the replay of what happened to Jason.
Oh,
Quiroga was coming to pit road.
And that sent Ryan Blaney.
Tyler Reddick in the team truck.
Was that Reddick?
Yeah.
He went up the hill, and that took Jason White right into the outside wall. Look at that.
I couldn't tell if Reddick got into Quiroga, but he definitely had contact when he slid up in to the 20 of Jason White. On board with Quiroga.
Just no way that Reddick knew what was happening and had to make an evasive move. A great move by Reddick.
Taylor Mawson, the 9th place truck. Between he and Bubba Wallace, that's the 8th place truck right in front of Eric Jones. Jeff Burton, I don't think Eric's going to have to get up there and pass Jeff Burton. I think he has enough cushion to not push the issue.
But what about this last lap? You're having to pass lead top 10 trucks to get your way to victory lane, and they're making it tough on this kid.
What a day for Kyle Busch. Won the nationwide race at Dover. And now in his hometown, his truck's going to finish 1-2. Eric Jones, checkered flag. He does it tonight in Las Vegas. Second to Darrell Wallace Jr.
Down for a lap truck, and John West Tolley just bounced on him.
What about that camera angle? That shows you how fast these trucks are. Great shots by our Fox Sports 1 crew to show at ground level the way these trucks haul the mail off into the corner. Got trouble up in turn 4.
Oh, and there goes Thierio hard into the wall. And that's Reddick in the 19 that had the problem that kicked it all off with Thierio as he comes grinding to a halt on the front straightaway after a huge, heavy impact here on the front stretch.
Man, that was terrible. I think Reddick got loose up higher. There's Reddick high in turn 4, loose. Just about has his truck saved, and along comes Thierio. Look at that right front tire.
Yeah, really nothing Austin could do.
At all.
And Tyler Reddick, he was just fighting to regain control of his truck.
I don't know. We didn't see if anything maybe clipped Reddick and sent him sliding sideways. We just caught it as he was up there fighting for control of that truck. Saw him doing an amazing job hanging on to it. See Jennings down on the bottom.
He went up way high. Now, we haven't seen a whole lot of people run up that high. You see the dirt. Here comes Austin just trying to get by on the inside. Again, Reddick's just trying to regain control after being sideways up against the outside wall.
And with the problems that the 63 truck was having. Oh, it's so scary.
It's such a sick feeling for Tyler, watching his teammate turn into the outside wall right.
Vince, how about the 98 of Sauter?
Oh, he crashed.
Together they go.
John Hunter Nemechek gets loose on the bottom, slides up into Sauter, and around they go.
We saw the same thing happen at Gateway earlier this year to Matt Crafton. John Hunter Nemechek got loose on the bottom, crashed Matt Crafton.
Simple what happens. Sauter's up the hill. Nemechek gets loose and wanders up into him.
He just needs more space when he gets loose. He can't turn the steering wheel. He knows he's going to lose the back end. He moves up the racetrack, unfortunately, into the 98 of Johnny Sauter. Here's another view.
What a great angle this will be. You can see John Hunter tries to hook that bottom, but the truck wanders up right there, and they make contact. Just a couple of bobbles, and then the collision. Matt Crafton can see that whole thing over Eric Jones, who's going to be your second place truck. He just needs to nurse it around for one lap. Here comes Jones. Is he out?
He's out. He's sweeping back and forth, trying to get fuel into the car, into the truck. And now Townley half a lap away from his first win, and there goes Peters by. Townley down the backstretch. Here comes Peters at full song.
Peters and Ben Kennedy there was John West Townley. He's over in turn number 4.
Here he comes.
I think
Can they get him? Can they get him at the line? John West Townley, career win, number 1.
Yes.
How about Michael Shelton?
Earlier for the caution clock, this time because of a problem for the 49 of Wayne Edwards.
Wayne just got a little bit loose there and had to use a little bit more racetrack to catch that truck and got into the outside wall. He's real fortunate it didn't hook back into the wall. He was heading that direction.
And he's only got one lap to do it. The white flag is out in Las Vegas.
What a great night. You can get around to the finish of this thing for Brad Keselowski Racing. A 1-2 finish here at Las Vegas.
Into turn 3 for Reddick. He's almost there. He came in tonight as an underdog. He's a non-chaser, but he's going to capitalize and take it to victory lane. Tyler Reddick wins at Las Vegas.
Didn't waste any time at all. Truex still trying to stay out front.
Oh,
but
there's trouble.
Not going to happen as Truex has slipped back. And there's Myatt Snyder with wall contact. And the caution is out.
Bottom's clear. Caution is out. Roll slow here.
There was another truck starting up near the front that had some damage, it looked like.
Yeah, there was a truck that tried to get in line up in the top 5, I think, and couldn't really see which one it was, but that's where this all started.
Just his 5th start of the season, and watch it starting to bottle up. The 27 and the 4 there checked up a little bit, and maybe Friesen got involved in that as well in the 52 truck before Myatt Snyder lost control.
Yeah, pretty fortunate as he went back up the racetrack that nobody hit him.
There you see right there, that's the smoke I saw. It looked like the Ben Rhodes trying to move up in front of, was that Bell?
It looked like Haley got some damage on the left front corner of that 24 truck.
This is from the 13 of Cody Coughlin.
Oh, that's Haley.
So let's top here.
Yeah, it looked like Haley got into the back of the 27 just a little bit.
I think the 27 was coming up to close the hole.
This is from Noah Gregson's point of view.
What a tough break. You hate to see that. The kid didn't even get a chance to get to racing. And you can see right there, Rhodes is moving up, and there's a bit of a hole there.
Yeah, the 24 of Haley stuck his nose in that hole there. Then Ben Rhodes went up. He sees there are 3 wide in front of him. And unfortunately, Myatt Snyder, with a little contact from behind, gets the worst of it.
Yeah, it looked like Friesen was the truck in that 52. Stage 2 racing. Chase Briscoe and Christopher Bell on the front row. Johnny Sauter going around and some contact.
No caution yet. Caution's out. Caution's out.
Stuart Friesen in the 52 with heavy front end damage.
Johnny was getting a push from behind and it turned him sideways.
For the 2nd week in a row, damage to the right side of the 21 truck. But
Get your bear bond ready. Get your bear bond ready.
I think he might be really lucky. I don't think there's major damage to that 21 truck. Sauter got hit. If he can get away with this.
Watch the 19 of Austin Cindric. That's the 3rd truck in line on the outside.
Oh, man.
I think Cindric went to go around Sauter.
He didn't make it.
Well, it looked like there was all of a sudden a gap between Johnny Sauter and Chase Briscoe.
Like Johnny lost some momentum for some reason?
momentum for some reason.
Now, did Chase...
Watch Cindric on board here.
Watch him gain all of a sudden.
Still there inside.
Johnny might have missed a shift there, Phil.
Might have missed a gear. I don't think we can put that on Austin Cindric at all.
It's amazing if Sauter's going to escape this with no more damage than just some right side damage. I know he took it pretty heavy in the door, but it didn't look to be that bad for Sauter.
Watch Kaz Gralla in the white truck. He hits Sauter at the same time.
A little bit of right front corner damage on the 33.
Yeah, and he hit at the same time as Friesen hit, but he hit that right rear tire. So
the switch Toyotas, we're going to ride along with him to watch this battle.
And just watch how that, as we look at the points as they run right now, watch how loose. Oh, mistake by Cindric.
Cindric going around and through the grass.
Got to keep that truck out of the inside wall.
Does it?
Pit wall does a great job doing that.
You're all right. Stay on the apron here. Caution's out.
Avoided disaster. Austin Cindric was running 8th.
Jack, you can know what I'm going to ask after this call.
That's Doug Randolph asking the spotter, did anyone see any damage there?
How could you tell as much as was there? But he just tries to squeeze up in there. Maybe he's probably tried to side draft the 98 truck and just misjudged it a bit, it looked like.
It's right on board with Cindric. Can't believe he didn't get any more damage than.
Clear behind him if you need it.
Well, more often than not, you go through that grass and you do some significant damage to your truck. Didn't see any parts and pieces.
This is the crew chief for John Hunter Nemechek. Can you go to the end of this race?
Well, we're short, but we're going. It's in Vegas. We're rolling the dice. We're going to try to win one.
Oh,
Caution's out.
Caution is out. Austin Wayne Self.
That's not already into the outside safer barrier there. You can see the nose is peeled around to the right side.
Hey, there's the
trapping into the wall, and Infinger was as well.
Did Bell roll up high to try to have a momentum run down the front straightaway?
The final lap, the white flag, 1 to go at Las Vegas. Bell looking on the outside.
One back half up now in line. Coming to half, got a block here.
Ben Rhodes.
He's still half back here.
Trying to secure his first ever win.
He's going to leave the bottom open, but I think he has enough momentum.
Here comes Rhodes to the checkered flag, blocking Bell, and he's going to do it. Ben Rhodes wins for the first time, and he does it at Las Vegas.
Wow, what a finish. Look at the elation.
Came out of the truck after that practice and said, this thing's good enough to win. I mean, he has been ready to go.
And you looked at Lap Tracker, the data that the teams look at, and it backed up just what he said. And if you're curious as to why he was not moving forward, I think that's a sign.
Here comes the 4 of Spencer Davis on the outside, looking to make it 3 wide. Now 4 as Infinger gets in the mix. Oh, contact!
Behind you, inside, very bottom, still green. Still green, 1 inside.
The yellow is out for Justin Haley.
You knew something had to give, guys.
We were 4 wide going in turn 1.
Haley and Myatt Snyder made contact.
And Haley had just raced into contention, Vince. Really hadn't, just because he's lost his track position anyway.
Look at the great big run that Grant Enfinger, that put him down on the inside. They just ran out of room there, Michael. 4 trucks running for the same real estate.
And what a great job Schneider did after that contact. He kept that truck pointed in the right direction. Look at that mess back there.
It just didn't have the angle going into that corner with Noah Gregson on the inside of him.
Did you see Snyder wheeling that thing? This is going to be awesome from the helmet cam. Watch this.
Your toes right here, Bill. Your toes right here, Bill. Your toes right here. All right, come on. Inside, very bottom. Inside, very bottom.
What a great job.
Wow.
How about from Noah Gregson's perspective?
3 bottom. 3 bottom. They got him jacked up here. Slow now back. 4 bottom. 4. Mid clear. Wrecker behind you. Bottom clear. Spinner behind you. Top clear.
73.
The 20 of Michel Destier spins, and you see the after effects of that. See it from Myatt Snyder's view.
Now to get your attention from Mike Snyder's view, will that truck stay up high?
3 and 4.
Is out. Fluid on the track and some heavy fire inside the 20 truck, and Thorson wasting no time getting out of that. When you can see his disappointment and the anger, I think, coming from underneath the helmet of Tanner Thorson for his night to be finished.
I think it was just a reaction. We saw the third more room. Let's take another look at it. This is already after the 13 had gotten loose. Thorson had committed to the top side and ran out of racetrack.
Yeah, and it just happened so quickly, Phil. These trucks are running over 175 miles an hour, and when one of them gets he tries to take them 3 wide and does.
Grant Enfinger on the inside says, I'm going to the front.
How about Grant Enfinger? What a great job he's done tonight, racing up front.
Got rid of the 18 of Gregson and is putting the challenge on, and we've got a spinner. It's the 49 going around of Wendell Chavis.
We may be able to stay green if he can get that truck refired.
And he does, Phil. Gate of the 2 trucks ahead of him.
Great battle here side by side, Gilliland and Friesen. Guys, with 52 laps to go, that means we're in our window. If the caution flag were to come out now.
Oh, around. It's Gilliland. Got hooked on that right rear.
Well, there's that caution window we were talking about.
Jesse Little was on the outside.
Little was there, and it's tough to take.
Looks like Jesse was just trying to follow the tire tracks of Friesen, and I'm not sure that Todd really knew he was there trying to get in that hole right behind Friesen.
That certainly wasn't anything intentional. I think Jesse Little was just drafting behind Friesen. You can see there Gilliland came up just a bit. And fortunately for Little, he didn't get any more damage than he did, but unfortunately, Gilliland's night will be over.
Well, Todd Gilliland was running in that 6th spot. Up ahead is the incident. The view from Cody Coughlin's truck.
Coughlin does a nice job there not getting into the back of Haley. As Haley rode off the gas, they were able to both slip by.
Boy, a frustrating outing for Todd Gilliland. They have been as many of the... And here comes Grant Enfinger. Caitlin is there.
Yeah, Vince, you see the 98 coming down a pit road. A little bit of damage there on the right side, just grazing it, listening in to
take those calls. He knew he took a chance. He thinks maybe this is a perfect scenario for him to be able to have the fresher tires.
It's like Friesen just got loose there.
He sure did. Underneath the 88, see the 98, that's when he got into the outside wall.
What a great job by Grant Enfinger squeezing through that small hole. Watch this driving by the 98 on the outside.
Got into the 88 of Crafton just a little bit there on the left rear.
Can't even see where he's going. Squeezes in that hole. Man.
Well, I tell you, for Stuart Friesen, that could have been disaster considering his position in the playoffs. He was able to gather that up fairly well, all things considered.
Look at that mess up ahead that Cody Coughlin's looking. How do you decide which way to go? Does a nice job of getting it woed down and missing those 2.
And a lot of help from his spotter, Terry Cook, too.
Friesen made a mistake on the box.
Oh, and now it's Stuart Friesen doing a little yard work.
Be careful. Don't let that splitter dig in.
So Friesen, as the caution comes out, Friesen.
Tires.
Friesen just lost it again. It's running back there just inside the top 20.
Yeah, a lot of damage to that truck, though. It's certainly affected the aerodynamics, Vince.
And really, Friesen brought out the caution. We stay green on track, and Johnny Sauter continues to lead. And now the caution is out.
Guys, I got to tell you, I get as nervous here at Las Vegas watching these cats races as I do at Talladega.
It looks about the same, doesn't it?
It looks a whole lot the same, and you know how hard these guys are going to try over the last 10 laps and how difficult it's going to be to keep these trucks headed in the right direction.
Our cat on the left front. Here's what happened.
Oh, problem for the 51 truck of Brandon Jones trying to get to pit road, and Roper just didn't know the 51 was slowing down and got into the back of him.
And it was going to be an unscheduled pit stop for the 51 of Brandon Jones.
He's won 4 times this season. Sauter has won a series high 5 races.
Sauter has to be patient here, I think.
Oh, and Friesen is around again. Boy, what a tough night it's been for Stuart Friesen, and that brings out the caution.
Or it's going to cost Johnny Sauter some laps.
And you know, that last restart, Sauter struggled. Fell almost all the way outside the top 10.
I'm in Las Vegas.
There goes Rhodes.
Sauter comes down to try to block. Meanwhile, Moffitt gets out front, and Crafton goes to the second spot.
Now Grant Enfinger's trying to get to the outside of Johnny Sauter.
It's Moffitt and Crafton. Contact between Enfinger and Sauter, and around goes Cody Coughlin. And the caution is out.
You said we hadn't wrecked yet on a restart, Phil. Now we have.
So Moffitt and Crafton.
In front of Enfinger, there's not room to do so. They make contact, and it just stacks up the field. Then a big shove from John Hunter Nemechek in the back of the 2 truck of Cody Coughlin, and that turned him around.
Cody makes contact with the inside wall. You can see right there.
Heavy damage to that 2 truck of Coughlin.
That's a shame. Cody had been really competitive all night long. Didn't do anything wrong here. Just over-aggression by John Hunter Nemechek, hitting him in the back here.
The caution is out, and that means it's going to set up another overtime restart when we come back. It's green. Moffitt jumps to the front.
Oh, and Sauter got 3-widened on the outside by Rhodes.
Yeah, not a good restart for Sauter. Meanwhile, Enfinger side by side with Crafton for second.
Look at the trucks beating and banging back there. 4 wide.
4 wide behind the bunch at the front, trying to sort out positions. Meanwhile, it's Brett Moffitt in the lead with Grant Enfinger in second, and Justin Haley slipped into the 3rd spot, and around again. Caution. A bigger one this time. Timothy Peters involved. Austin Hill in the 02. Jesse Little, the 97. Well, that's a shame. Little was having a good night. They did not get to the line to get the white flag, so we're going to line them up and restart it again. A lot of frustration. Peters around and in. I think maybe got a little help
Jordan
to start with.
Yeah, get some damage with the 3 truck.
Look at Crafton squeezing inside of Rhodes, and there's Peters sideways.
You can see the green lights right now.
And there's the yellow before the leader. Moffitt gets to the line, so what's the indicator that we're going to line up? And time number 3 in Las Vegas. Who's your money on?
Oh, something's wrong with Moffitt. He may be out of gas.
Moffitt off the pace.
I think he's out of gas. Maybe it just.
It's picked back up again a little. I think he's back up to speed, but it's Enfinger at the front with Justin Haley behind him. Grant Enfinger trying to secure his first win of the season.
Watch Johnny Sauter. He's going to work to the outside of Justin Haley. Can he go search down the leader?
Sauter into second. The white flag, 1 to go. Enfinger in the lead with Sauter looking on the outside to challenge. Haley and Rhodes right behind.
Johnny has one more shot at him, guys.
Sauter looks at the high line. Enfinger holding the bottom. Grant Enfinger off turn 4. Here he comes. He's going to do it. Grant Enfinger wins at Las Vegas.
Awesome. Great job, everybody. More to come. That's what I'm talking about.
A lot of people talking about him being one of the fastest trucks.
Here's a look at that start, and you saw one of those trucks just didn't fire off, Phil, as you said. May have had a little contact with the 8 truck of Angela Ruck. Let's see it. Yeah, absolutely.
Looked like Ben was in the wall.
And now there's the 2 of Sheldon Creed that has gone around. Corey Roper got into that as well.
Creed's going to get away with it looks, Vince.
Get it rolling here. Don't speed down pit road. Nice and easy.
Was running in the 8th position. Shot to put him 3 wide. Creed with a strong exit to the corner. You can see he's already wiggling.
He really did a nice job staying off of Ryan Reed, but how about the job Matt Crafton did? Unfortunately, Corey Roper is not going to...
Got into the back of Matt.
A couple of favorites. Trouble early in Las Vegas. To the wall coming off turn 4. Take a look at that. That's Brennan Poole underneath him in the 30. And
got a little loose, had to chase it up the hill, ran out of racetrack.
Oh, that's pretty good contact.
It is. A natural...
Fill those 32 spots to see who's going to get their shot at winning tonight. And for the second time, and that's a big hit for the 34 of Jesse Awuji.
We were just talking during the commercial break, Michael and I, and we've been watching everyone's time. At least 2.5, 3/10 of a second of speed gone out of this racetrack since qualifying. And it's obviously grip.
Yes, it is. And the trucks are slipping and sliding. We've seen a couple examples of that. And that was a scary ride for Jesse as he lost it coming off turn 4.
Well, he hit that inside wall a ton.
It was really scary too, because we know that pit road is full of trucks waiting to qualify.
NASCAR positions the trucks down towards turn 1, keeping them out of harm's way, but man.
Well, and there's also people, as well, you see there, including a NASCAR official, but credentialed spectators can be down in pit lane on the other side of the wall, the safe side of the wall, thankfully, during qualifying. And well, you see them all take a scatter, and even a NASCAR official on this side of the wall.
Probably directing the trucks as they come off the racetrack where to go after their qualifying run, and we saw him take evasive action as well.
Well, that's why when you are down in pit lane, you've always got to keep your eye on the track. Always makes me nervous when I see people with their back to the racetrack, because you never know. Flag. 1 lap remaining, 1.5 miles left. Who went to the window today and bet on the 16 of Austin Hill?
Scott Zipadelli bet on him on pit road anyway.
A 2-time winner this season. The 25-year-old from Winston, Georgia. Not many gave him a chance to win the championship, even when he won the season opener at Daytona. His odds got a little better when he won at Michigan, and tonight he cashes in again. Austin Hill wins in Las Vegas. And even though he's not going to come in as the winner,
she picked it up 2.5 seconds and gives her a shot at making this race. And you can see there the power of these trucks. They run 180 some miles an hour for a reason. There's a lot of power under the hood, and she gunned it. 23 of Brett Moffitt. Oh, and we got a truck spinning
up against the wall on the 3rd and 4th, in between 3 and 4, and that's Derek Kraus.
Hold the brake, hold the brake, hold the brake.
Doesn't look to be significant damage, but definitely got into the wall. There in the right rear. He was running 14th and has to bring it to pit road after flat spotting those tires.
Well, you know, Vince, that doesn't look like a lot of damage, but that's going to make that truck not very fun to drive for the rest of this one.
Yeah, that right rear corner is really important aerodynamically. That fender really leans on the 8. See what happens to him down into 3, and just from the beginning the thing got loose, and man, he did a nice job battling it.
Well, you see he kind of got in the corner there. I think that was the 15, and he was just off to the right of him. You get all that air on the right front, and that spot, it's real light. And, it's easy to get yourself in that spot.
Kraus coming off that great finish last week at Daytona inside the top 5.
Isn't that just like racing?
Can lead.
Yeah, I thought I saw some contact off turn 2. Is that, yeah, the 18 of Eckes got into the outside wall.
And that's exactly what I was talking about. And yeah.
We're wrecked. Imagine that.
And a hard hit after cutting down that left, or that right front. And the caution is out for Eckes.
And that's really unfortunate. He had a kind of a tough restart. He was battling back there, and that's what I was saying with that right front getting creased in.
Come up.
Coming off of turn 2 here, second truck coming through. You see him.
Wow. Look how close Gillen got to the wall. That really is in a difficult position for Eckes.
Been in that situation, and Christian was in a tough spot there. There was no air on that truck at all. When he's stuck behind Todd, that front end feels like there's nothing underneath it. You're turning left, and it's not going the way you want it to.
Unfortunate for Eckes, who had a good run going at Daytona, and then here's what happened with the 4 in the 98.
Man, Lessard battled it a long time, but just eventually got into the side of Grant Enfinger, and both trucks hit the outside wall.
And you know, that's a learning moment for Raphael. He's not going to forget that, and you know, Grant's not holding him tight, or it looks like he got on the apron a little bit and then just kind of started to chase it, and it's kind of it. It's a little bit hard to catch it once you get up against that guy and start losing more and more air.
I think you're right. I think he got down on that apron just a little bit, and that just unsettled the truck just enough that then he got right there next to the 98 of Enfinger, and it takes both of them.
You know,
to the wall.
We've seen a lot of guys, Vince, get loose down on the bottom and been able to avoid contact. Not that time.
And I think he learned 2 lessons there. You know,
Truck tonight, Eckes actually has the fastest lap, barely.
Whoa.
Oh, and around goes Rhodes.
Oh, man, he's been struggling all night, whether we knew he was going to have an engine trouble or transmission trouble or not, and he's got way more trouble. Not good.
So we anticipated that Rhodes was going to have an issue because they've been talking about potential oil leak and the truck being down on
gear. All right, see Gilliland on the bottom of the 38 truck loose, and it just sent. Look at all that sparks flying out of there.
There's a lot of cool sparks I've never really seen before, but man, that is definitely way more trouble than what they were radioing about with their engine trouble or tranny trouble. But 38, Todd Gilliland is on the bottom, and then Rhodes kind of just draws up right behind him, and that's what loosened up the 38 a little bit.
Watch the near miss from Enfinger in that 98. Whoa.
Close for a Thor Sport teammate. Changing too many lanes at once, and that's where the track will jump up and bite you. All right, he's looking to the inside. He's looking for that clean air down low. He's like, oh, man, it's pushing bad. He slides up, and then now there's the 52 on his outside. So that was about 10 pounds of stuff in a 5-pound bucket right there. There's a lot going on for Rhodes to hang on, and plus all the mechanical trouble.
His last 25, 30 laps, and he has out the front windshield.
This is big. We got white flag for Austin Hill. Great job again.
We got traffic up ahead. Connor Daly, and there's the Hot Mess Express rolling on. 99 of Ben Rhodes still hanging in there. Last time I saw him, Vince, he was on fire.
That is great. It's P23 right now.
What a night for Austin Hill trying to finish the job. He won this race last fall, and he's looking to go back-to-back consecutive wins at Vegas in the fall race. It's Austin Hill, the winner in Las Vegas.
Sometimes when you're just a winner, you're a winner.
There you see Kyle cutting through traffic. Oh, and around goes the...
That's the 04 of Corey Roper, and some significant right side damage on that truck.
Couldn't see the number for all the smoke. He was running back in the 30th position. A lot of action. We talked about how fortunate we were that Kyle Busch started in the back. A couple of other trucks with onboard cameras that are potential winners.
But his night, a little adversity early. The 04 of Roper bringing out the caution in Las Vegas.
This thing, his car looks like it gets better and better each run.
Oh! Big hit by Connor Daly in the 44. Connor making his second Truck Series start, and the 56 of Tyler Hill around as well. Tate Fogelman narrowly avoiding contact there, but boy, Connor Daly hit that thing a ton.
That's a huge crash.
Connor from Noblesville, Indiana, and we understand that he is talking to the crew, and that's good news.
They're going to be 3 wide at least when they get to the corner. That's Ryan Truex on the bottom, and it just, I think...
That's air, I feel like, you know, just air moving around. That's a hard hit. I'm thankful for those safety barriers.
You know, in Austin, it's air, but it's also a driver that doesn't have a lot of experience in the trucks. And when you start seeing guys on your inside and outside, maybe you move the wheel a little bit much and the air takes over and just gets you heading in a bad direction.
Yeah, when you get that whip right there, that's a hard one right there. I'm sure he's going to be feeling that. And that fire's no fun. He was trying to get down to get out of the truck as fast as he can. Then he wedged it against the inside wall. So it's that's tough.
Fogelman late not to be involved, but look at that angle.
And when you're 3 wide like that, the fourth is impossible to know where he's at. And that guy was trying to peek right there and spot the shooter. I think it kind of hurts him, but I feel like that side draft would have been.
Chandler Smith out of the KBM stable while we were talking about John Hunter and Kyle, the third truck on that team, heavy damage.
We had a problem on pit road, remember, Vince?
We would anticipate that teams are going to have to pit here in this final stage. Is this too early? You're right there about the window with 50 to go?
Yeah, if they can stretch it from here, maybe so, but we've seen that tire wear, Austin. That's going to play into the crew chief's decision. Probably going to try to wait and run it out more before they take those tires.
Yeah, let's ride around with the 21 here and see what happens on this wreck.
Whoa, he just snapped sideways.
Yeah, I think he just lost it there. At first I thought he was getting some help, but man, that air on the right side of these trucks, if you take it off of them, it's really hard to save a truck.
Making that truck go over to the right, it rubbed a sidewall hole in that left rear tire.
That was the 2 to 3 tenths that John Hunter was beating him by, I'd say. Yeah, Kyle got a little loose there on the flat.
It stays green, now it goes yellow.
Huh. Got away from him on the apron.
He saved it going pretty fast earlier, didn't he?
Around it goes.
Huh.
You can see that left rear flat.
Watch this save, though, when that tire goes down. Leads that lap. Parker Kligerman in the... Oh, and there's a big crash.
Haley Deegan involved.
17.
The 24 of Lassard involved.
Truex in the 40.
Sheldon Creed looked like he may have gotten a little contact as well, but Lassard is big time damaged.
We saw 4 wide throughout the field right there. It can only to
the front.
What happens here? You can see the 24 of Lassard tries to go low and he wasn't clear.
Gilliland.
Not clear.
Came right down on Gilliland.
Unfortunate for all those people in that top line. You just know where to go.
Right. There's Brett Holmes in the 32, their first start. He was involved in that one as well.
Look at that. Just tried to go down. You don't know if the spotter cleared him or if he just said, I can make it, I can make it. And it was a terrible. Look at that job by Austin Wayne Self slipping around the outside in the 22. That was awesome.
Truex just didn't have anywhere to go. There's that right
Beautiful
side
shot.
damage on Haley Deegan's truck. Great job from our guys behind the cameras catching it.
Sometimes you make bold moves and you wish you hadn't have made them, and that's certainly the case there for the 24 truck of Lassard.
Yeah, you just wonder if he was told he was clear by a spotter, and until you get that information, it's hard. Yeah, he's trying to come left hard there. I feel like he thinks he's clear. Obviously, he thought he was clear. He wouldn't have made that move.
Look at Johnny Sauter, how patient he was. He was able just to hold off of the gas and get to the bottom while they all slid up top.
We got one wrecking in the front stretch right here.
And that's the 56 of Tyler Hill. The 04 of Corey Roper has gone around as well with heavy contact.
This is not the night Corey. What a great job he did at Daytona tonight.
That was a hard lick.
See what happens here. It's like just tight racing off 4. Tried to close the door and
hard to tell if he got a little help there. I thought maybe he did, and then came across it and got Corey Roper.
Unfortunate for Corey, just wrong place, the wrong.
Everybody battling for position, and Jordan Anderson and Tyler Ankrum getting together, and the caution is back out.
Jordan had a solid run going, was inside the top 20. Great effort by he and his team, but man, it just 4 wide, 3 wide, bouncing off each other.
The lane you're in is the right lane, or the one that's moving forward.
Anderson up the track a bit, Chase Purdy, and then in the 23. Boy, Kligerman up on the top. Three Camping World trucks right there. And Purdy just got a little bit, maybe Purdy got a little bit loose.
What it looked like.
Looks like he got in the left rear of Parker, and it kind of turned him back into Jordan.
I think Jordan Anderson was running about 10th there.
Yeah, he was
had a good run going. Well, a heartbreaker for Jordan, who had planned on running the full-time Xfinity program this season.
This is a great angle, great camera work. You can see they're 4 wide, and bouncing in the middle was Chase Purdy in the 23 truck. He bounces off of Kligerman and into Jordan Anderson, and then into Ankrum.
Boy, Ankrum just an innocent bystander of that, as was Jordan.
I think the 23, same thing that we talked about earlier. That air, it just moves you around. You can see the front of the truck kind of take off right there, and then you're along for the ride.
Look at that damage, just sheet metal folding up as he bounces into the wall. There's the eye of the storm. Watch Purdy over to the right. Bam.
He was the pinball in the machine.
So under caution with 10 to go.
Sun all day. What's it like? How much different is it?
It's a tough task. I mean, the way that 15 degrees might not sound big, it is a ton of grip. And when you're out, we got to spin off 4.
45 gone around, and that's Chris Hacker, who is making just his second career start.
Wow, he's had pretty hard contact with the outside wall.
The grip level changes with 15. He's on the inside. Somebody's to his outside. Probably took the air off.
That's when you're just hoping it just slides enough to keep it from getting in the outside wall. But unfortunately, Chris went around and made contact.
And the 21 of Smith still on track.
There's still no yellow out.
Down the backstretch, NASCAR.
I hear ya. Man, get it to pit road. That's a tough break.
Hope one of these guys don't hit that debris that has been put down.
And keep your eye on John Hunter Nemechek as well.
Now the caution has come out.
John Hunter Nemechek has a big rub on the right front. As you see, a lap down goes Zane Smith. We're early in this race, though. There's still another stage break. He can get this back if he can get to pit road. I don't know what. You know what? I bet. And Herzenberg holds on to the high side.
That's the 26 of Ankrum, and Chandler Smith, playoff driver. Heavy damage to the left front. Haley Deegan involved. Chase Purdy as well, and there's Creed.
There are playoff drivers everywhere in this mess. Wow.
Wow, what a tough night for some of these championship hopefuls. Zane Smith, Nemechek, now it's Creed and Chandler Smith with issues.
That is a terrible wreck. Wow, that truck is going to burn to the ground. I'm glad he's out of there. He's going over to check on Chandler.
Look at the back of that 18 truck. It's gone.
Wow.
But this is big for that team. You can see, I think Ankrum just gets loose.
And John Hunter Nemechek as well, who's a couple of laps off the pace.
And then watch, Smith tries to squeeze through the top. You just simply can't change directions running 180 miles an hour, Kurt. He had nowhere to go. He committed to the top.
Creed just, wow, that was a huge hit.
Yeah, Creed must have saw something different, wanted to cut to the low side to get away from all this mess, and it was just a bad decision. But yeah, like you said, Mikey, like when your truck is committed and loaded up into the banking, it is very difficult to change directions.
That's crazy.
We had 5 drivers in the playoffs finish outside the top 20 at Gateway early in the playoffs, and we're looking like a similar type situation tonight, because we have had 4 drivers in the playoffs with big problems. Watch it from the perspective of Sheldon Creed. This will make you cringe.
He sees the wreck up ahead, and he's like, I'm just going to commit low.
You know, there's a chance that he couldn't see through that smoke, Kurt. You know, we see clearly from on top of the truck, but maybe he couldn't see through the smoke and decided he would gun it up and get to the bottom and didn't know that.
Playoff guy.
What do you do next? You start to hear a lot of vibration or feel vibrations and hear things in your truck that you hadn't heard before. That all is going on right now, huh, Kurt?
Yeah, these lap times that were just a standard 32 seconds, they feel like 64.
Oh, there's the caution, and it's Drew Dollar in the 51.
Just when we thought it was going to get strung out.
Exactly what Gilliland didn't want, just as we were talking about the situations that could present themselves. Jack Wood in the 24 involved as well.
Jack Wood's on the lead lap, so Gilliland had lapped up to the 16th position, Vince, so making his way through these trucks, and for some reason...
Incident already in progress as we pick it up here on the replay, and
looked like Wood had already hit the wall, and maybe Dollar was trying to avoid. I don't know. It's hard to tell, but trouble for both.
Lap left. Christian Eckes.
Johnny Sauter's on those new tires, Vince. You talked about he went to pit road. Here he comes. It's a Thor Sport party at the front.
1, 2, 3, 4 for Thor Sport. Can Eckes hold off Rhodes? Ben Rhodes, one of those in the championship hunt. Can he get the win tonight here at Vegas?
Throw her to the high side, buddy.
And the caution comes out with Eckes in front. And Christian Eckes will win because the white flag had already come out. And it will be Eckes getting his first career win.
I am stunned. That's amazing.
Very impressive. Wow, did we think that was going to happen? Not 1 ounce did we think that was going to happen. Impressive.
Contact with Blaine Perkins in the 9, and ultimately it led to that spin.
We told him.
Into the wall. Actually goes to lap 30, but close enough to the end of stage 1 here with this caution. So several teams taking advantage of it. Laps to go. Who's going to win stage 1?
Look at that, off the track.
Oh,
there's a crash.
The 91 of Colby Howard has gone around, still green. Now the caution has come out. And there's the damage to Colby Howard in that 91 truck. He had some help.
One of the trucks that stayed out on those older tires, Vince. Jack Wood as well, and Howard just got turned. I don't know.
Yeah, it looked like Kyle went to the outside. Zane Smith is going to plug it in 5 wide. That is tough to do.
Yep.
Yeah, there's one room there. There's going to be some damage to that Zane Smith truck for sure. And there's Haley sliding in there and just clipping the 61 truck of Purdy.
Restarts here are so tough. Cup cars, Xfinity, 5 wide. There's no way a spotter can help you at that point. And that's where Zane kind of knew he was in a bad spot. And he's like, man, I got to get out of here. I got to get away from the 91. And there just wasn't enough room.
Tires make a huge difference, and wouldn't have seen those 4 stay out if we weren't so close to the end of that first stage. But
yeah,
there's the difference in speed between that you just saw right there on that restart. And the restarts are crazy here anyway.
Yep, and so let's ride along with Todd, see what he sees through this.
Here, crashing, check up.
And that was a pretty clean escape there. It was nice and get low and get out of the way.
That was a blessing there. Okay, bud.
Yeah, I think you saved him, Kurt. That speeding penalty put him in the back.
Speedway on board with Chandler Smith, who runs 7th, being pursued by Friesen, and Todd Bodine has gone around, and some contact to the rear end. And the caution is out with 6 to go here in stage 2.
That was that treacherous turn 4 here at Las Vegas. I wonder what happened.
Quarter, you sit. Yeah, 10-4.
Todd was running just inside.
It's popping up here if we go back green.
Well, this is about where, as you see, Todd all by himself there when he lost it. And
yeah, we'll jump on board.
See what it looks like from the inside of the cockpit.
There's a little bit to the middle groove, and the middle groove has a little bit more grip sometimes if you hit it just right. And that can cause the front tires to dig and the rear to kind of slide around under.
I believe they can patch Todd up. Behind this group, Grant Enfinger in that yellow truck right there. He's liking all that vacuum that's pulling him up towards the battle for the lead.
The 24 of Jack Wood. Problems, and the caution is out. Some significant right side damage. The GMS machine and the rookie Jack Wood.
Jack?
Chase Purdy in the 61 and the 24 of Jack Wood. Do they make contact there?
Wow, he tried to side draft him, I think, and it got away from him. Is that what you saw, Kurt?
That's that thin air here in Vegas. Yes, the side drafting is, that was an aggressive side draft, but man, the truck just took off on
Yeah, that's
really weird.
Like something.
Bodine in the 62. By himself again.
He got loose earlier there and put damage to his truck, and it's only going to get looser with all that damage in the back.
She's loose, Onion.
Riding with him here.
Man, that didn't even seem fair.
Hang on
Where'd
here.
that looseness come from?
Happens in a hurry, doesn't it?
I tell you, the aerodynamics up here in this thin air.
Still attached to Caleb. Come on down here, Todd.
Keeps you busy on the wheel here.
Well, it's a memorable return. He won't forget it. Work on the bottom.
Muscled his way through there. Hocevar had to get out of the gas. Oh, no.
Hocevar, can he save it? Oh, he got spun around. Almost had it saved. And then Ryan Preece got to the bumper, and the caution is out.
Preece was trying to like, hey, buddy, get this collected up. Get it collected up. And he still didn't get it collected up. And Preece kind of tapped him for the final send-off.
He hung on to it for a long time, didn't he?
He sure did. These restarts, right, Vince? Right, Mike? This track, everybody has so many different options going on. And just when you think you've got a run on somebody, there are two trucks that are going to go blow them by you because they had momentum from another two. That's where I like to go. I like to go really far back on replays just to see. We know the final ending result here on the 42, but it's off of turn 2. He was already in trouble where he lost his momentum.
He just got...
It's like dominoes, right? You hit that first domino, second one, and it just keeps rolling.
Really lucky, I think, Kurt, as he slid through this grass that he didn't tear the nose off the truck right here, especially when he hits that.
I hate the grass. I mean, we need to get AstroTurf put in these places, but man, it definitely, it looks like it might turn out okay for Hocevar.
Wow. Remember, that's developing at about 150 miles an hour. I think a lot of times we forget the speed that these trucks are traveling at.
I mean, I know a good nursery guy around here from Star Nursery. We can replant the grass, but man, if we could just get that grass turned into AstroTurf, it would save so many different vehicles from having extra damage.
Finger to the bottom, Rhodes getting put in the middle.
Ooh.
3 still.
That's going to get tight off for
Oh, Eckes. Oh, and then Eckes got into the wall, or excuse me, Majeski got into the wall, and then when he did, he rebounded off into the tail of his teammate Ben Rhodes.
Wow.
That's a shame.
Man, the trucks look so unstable on the straightaway, and that was just as he came off the banking, and they were all stressed out on too much wheel in it, and then boom, came together. Tough break for Ben Rhodes.
Majeski just got into the wall enough.
Yeah, that's where, again, the 99's got a lot of wheel in it, off of 4. The 66 is on the top side, trying to give him room, like he was trying to be the teammate buddy. They survived this first little moment right here, and then as the trucks settle, boom.
Eckes, or excuse me, Majeski, I think just touched a little bit with the rear of the truck on the wall, and that created the front end movement into Rhodes.
That's a reminder how fast these guys are going. That 3,300-pound truck up into the air. Majeski gets a little bit out of shape on the high side and just ran into Ben Rhodes.
And so let's back it up a little bit further and just see how the 99 lost his momentum off 2, and now he's in that sucker hole. He's in the middle. And it's a tough spot to get out of. There's nowhere for him to go. He's got to try to hold it down, and washed up a little bit, but I think his teammate was trying to give him room, but again, there's too many trucks in one spot, racing and digging hard with only 30 laps to go.
Yeah, I thought Majeski actually had gotten into the wall there, but it didn't. He did not. He just actually lost the handle on it.
Well, that's what you don't know, Vince, sitting at home, how violent the air is and how much these things do move around. And, you know, the wall, even if he leans out into it, down low on the track.
I don't want to watch.
I don't either, because this was
close.
Nearly. Oh. I don't think it's over yet.
He comes back down the track, and I
think it's this
right here.
Yeah. Oh, that one. Glad everybody's through there clean, though.
That's when you really, that tire smoke up in the air, you really rely on your spotter to send you in the right direction.
Watch it again as he comes back down the track. Right here.
At some point, you probably ought to just lock it down, right?
Oh.
I guess you just don't ever quit driving, but if you're
Smith, who restarted with the lead, is in fifth.
Eckes gave him the bottom side for free. Now he's got the side. Oh, he's into him.
Oh, Kyle got into Eckes.
Turned him.
And the caution is out.
Hold the brake, 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 hold the brake.
All right,
Wow.
There was some lane changing, there was some blocking, and there was some unusual situations that developed to create that. Wow.
That is a huge hit for Eckes, and look at the damage. Heartbreaker.
I draft you if you do get to my inside.
Look how close he was to clear, but he just couldn't quite do it.
Yep.
And then he starts to block.
He starts changing a lane way too soon. And Kyle's like, wait a minute, I'm here in the middle lane. So here's a better view off of 2. That's a lane change in my mind. Wow.
A block.
Yeah.
And Kyle, I don't think
Kyle was there.
I don't think he had time to react.
He was there. So he's doing all he can here to try to close the door on Kyle, and Kyle is there. Whew, it happens that quick.
In the blink of an eye,
I mean,
it
all
is.
race, yeah. All race long, he's executed to put himself in that position.
On board with Chandler Smith.
Chandler did a nice job.
We'll see if these guys can get lined up.
Second, third, and fourth are KBM trucks.
Oh!
And Kraus again, contact.
Is he going to save it?
The green is still out.
He saved it. Stay green.
Chandler Smith on the outside, threatening Zane Smith. Here they come to the line for the white flag, side by side. Chandler Smith with the lead. Zane Smith fighting back.
And is Kyle going to stick with him?
Get up there.
Kyle Busch on the outside, taking a look up top.
Oh, and the crossover.
Inside.
Chandler Smith back to the bottom. Chandler Smith for the lead.
I mean, he's clear for now.
Final lap in Las Vegas, coming through turn 4. Chandler Smith out front, looking for his third career win, and he has done it. Chandler Smith in Las Vegas.
Wow, absolutely, Chandler Smith. Celebrate this. Likely he got cut at that point.
Grant Enfinger into the outside wall from some of the contact.
Oh, man.
The lap later, that thing lights up.
Man, he didn't deserve that for that to have happened.
Yeah, they were all running right around that top 5 position, still with a shot. And some significant contact there for Grant Enfinger, but Nemechek took a lot of damage there as well. And watch this.
Yeah, left rear's probably down.
Jordan Anderson hard into Nemechek. And that was big contact for both Jordan in that 3 truck and John Hunter in the 4.
Yeah, a lot going on those last 3 laps, wasn't there?
It's a bar fight out there. It's that danger zone. I told you, like 5th through 10th. It's mean and gnarly, and everybody's ripping and gouging, trying to find those positions.
When we were in break, Brett Holmes in the 32 had gotten into the wall, so he brought it down pit road.
Oh, another truck.
That's Brett again.
Yeah, that was from the first wreck. He got damage on the right side and blew a tire. I think it's over now. Caution flag is out.
Looked like he was able to save it that first time around. This one, not so much.
Big break for
well, good news is they don't have to pit yet, and they probably won't pit yet because they only have 3 sets of
Holmes the first time.
Right off of turn number 4. He just loses the front end, it looks like, and made some pretty significant contact, cut down the right front tire, and more than likely he probably had a rub. Watch.
Bam.
He went straight into the, obviously the right front tire went down again, probably a fender brace or something like that. Had rubbed that right front tire.
Brett Holmes, a rookie this year. His team has decided to go full-time.
You can look at all the damage to the right side. Watch, he's going to lose the nose here and move up. He's just going to clip Ty Majeski.
I think he lost the back.
Right along with him. You see the 20 of Matt Mills get really loose.
Oh, I love that. Fired up. Get on out of there.
You could hear he had that little hesitation and then just hammer down.
He had to try to figure out which way Matt was going to go when he got up near the wall. Then he gassed her back up. Matt did a nice job of keeping that truck off the wall.
Those
JF
campers.
Electric Chevrolet for Tyler Young.
Those campers right there had a nice view.
Yeah, they did.
There it is, sliding high up in turn 4. That's when you're sliding along, looking over your left shoulders, thinking, please nobody hit me. Please no one hit me.
Some fresh tires on there. Looks like Carson Hocevar. And once again, he's runner-up. Once again, he's runner-up. His time is coming. Leading this race.
Ooh, caution.
Caution out once again. The 45 goes around. That's Lawless Allen. Quite a bit of damage there on the deck lid in the rear end of that truck.
Clear to keep rolling here. Your tires are up.
He was parked hundreds of cars underground if you need to.
It's a good sponsor. Makes sense, right? Here's
Ooh,
what
in the
happened.
middle of 3 wide.
We saw some
so
of the young,
vulnerable right there, isn't he, Michael?
We've seen young drivers make that mistake repeatedly, Phil. They don't understand or anticipate how much downforce you lose when you stick it in the middle like that.
View from Daniel Dye.
Wow.
That's not the first time that's happened to Daniel's tonight.
been behind about everything that happened and then actually spun himself early in the race.
Just looks so crazy real time, doesn't it?
Sure does.
Great shot for our Fox Sports camera folks getting the action.
Nick Sanchez did a nice job of boarding Lawless.
1 lap tonight.
Remember a little bit of a shakeup at ThorSport. They broke up this championship-winning combo of Ben Rhodes and Rich Lushes. Rich moved over to Haley Deegan's truck. J-Rod, ooh, trouble.
Caution out for the 5th time.
Chris Wright in the 0-2.
They hold it together.
Kyle Busch is in the middle of that somewhere.
Oh, man.
That's a mess.
Look at him bouncing off each other.
Go.
Haley Deegan.
John Hunter Nemechek.
John Hunter Nemechek. He goes into the wall.
I think Ross Chastain got a piece of that as well.
And the caution is out for the 6th time tonight.
Well, you had to know that was going to happen.
Yeah.
It was just too crazy back there.
Carson Hocevar wins stage number 2.
They made it 1 lap. They didn't make it 2.
The 13. And we'll see what happened right here.
Well, it started about right here, Phil, when they tried to go 4 wide and probably made it.
Yeah.
Oh, it was
contact there.
Max Gutierrez, and then up top, Christian Eckes is trying to get on the outside of Haley, and they stuff it 4 wide, does John Hunter, and this is where it all goes wrong.
It's John Hunter and Haley got together there.
Look at Ross.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right there into the nose of John Hunter Nemechek and kept going.
But not hard contact. You can see a little bit of damage to the nose of John Hunter's truck. Obviously came from Ross's truck.
Let's get a better look here between Haley Deegan and John Hunter and Eckes. They just
squeezed Haley a little bit between John Hunter and Christian Eckes, and neither one of them had really forced the issue. Christian was right up against the wall. John Hunter, felt like he left enough room there.
You think Daniel Dye's seen enough action tonight?
He's right. He's been behind every single thing that happened.
Every time there's a crash, let's ride on board with the 43.
Look, and they're still crashing, and he's just making his way through it. Great job by that young man.
Really nice job. And I hate it for Haley Deegan. High hopes coming into this race. Right there in the 13, that beautiful black and yellow truck. See if there was any contact here.
She gets squeezed a little bit, but that's just racing.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's racing.
It's hard to blame anyone for that.
It's like you're a pinball.
There wasn't any blatant move up or move down by anybody.
Just a little air turbulence moving them around, and it was just enough to cause things to go wrong.
You talked about it before when these trucks get side by side, and certainly in the middle of a 3 wide, they lose so much downforce, and those things will wobble a little bit.
Wobble a lot.
And he's going to switch to Chevrolet. KBM has had so much success
White flag.
with Toyota. They're going to switch to Chevrolet. Is it going to hurt him? I don't think so.
No. It looks like it might have helped him. He is dominant right now.
You know, and I think it's natural that Kyle was wondering too, you know, how will this affect us? Will we pick up right where we left off?
White flag is in the air.
Kyle Busch, dominated performance, led 82 laps tonight. Kyle Busch, the driver from Las Vegas, wins at Las Vegas for the 4th time in his career. Into turn 3, Michael, and you just took us aboard what the wind is doing as they head down the track into turn 3.
No, got to spin.
Back it down.
41 goes around. That's Bailey Curry. Caution is out for the first time.
Great job by these other competitors to avoid him.
Get ready to take the bed top on and clear the...
Hate that for Bailey Curry. Remember, Chase Purdy right ahead of him in the 77.
Just tried to make the move on the 77 of Purdy and just cranked her a little bit too hard to the left, and around it went.
Was that Ben Rhodes, the 99, that just barely missed him?
It's been an eventful 3 laps for Ben Rhodes. There's been a lot go on in Ben's.
Watch.
Yeah, we know how loose. Ooh, that is him coming through the smoke. That's Ben Rhodes, that orange and black truck.
Well, you said it, Michael. Or Phil, one of you said, you know, great heads-up driving by the rest of the competitors.
See if we can get an onboard look or two at this. Corey Heim, spin's going to be...
No mo. Can you hit up on exit? Back her down, back it down, back it down, back it down to the bottom.
You got to know Daniel Dye was around, right? He's going to have us a good view of this. Here it is.
He's right behind Corey Heim. That's Corey in that red truck right ahead of him.
Where'd you say Corey started?
Check out here. Get down.
Starts in 25th. Daniel inside the top 10, and Corey's moving.
Out front easily. Ty Majeski, stage 1, stage 2 winner, battling on the outside for second.
Oh! Is that
Trouble
Dean
in the
Thompson?
back.
Dean Thompson hard into the outside wall coming off turn 4.
Caution out for the 4th time tonight.
Heavy damage to the right side of that 5 truck for Dean. He's having a solid start to this night.
He made his way up.
5.
See, he got a little bit loose right there.
And he got a little looser there. And
just never could catch up to it, and then ran out of room.
These guys are running about 178 miles an hour, and for all those other competitors around him to save it,
look at that
amazing.
mess.
Look at that.
Wide.
3 wide, trying to make it 4 wide.
He does a really nice job staying up against the wall, staying out of harm's way.
You see that happens right in front of Christopher Bell in the 1. Right there, he sees it happening. The 42's all over his bumper, but he's able to keep it down.
Yeah, heads up by Matt Mills in that 42 truck to give Christopher Bell some room.
1 lap to go.
That's a great feeling when you got control of the race, isn't it, Phil? When you see that white flag, you know, if there's a caution now, so be it.
Yeah, the next flag's going to end it.
The 21-year-old out of Washington, D.C.
Just a great spirit. Such a good kid. This is awesome.
His 30th truck start came up from the Arca Menard Series.
Whatever you need coming to the line. Really proud
Just praying for it.
Execute all night.
There it is. Raja Caruth wins it at Las Vegas. First career win. Gets it done.
You ask about...